Well, hello everybody, and welcome to today's episode of Campfire Quest. When we last got together, the world was starting to end, so I guess we're going to figure out how that turns out today and maybe next week. But for now, let's go ahead and throw it to the intro. Welcome back. So let's go ahead and just make sure that we haven't completely gone too far off the rails. Last we were together, the adventurers had just made it back to the Arctic Circle, and they were in a freezing storm, surrounded by snow and ice, and looking up at a very confined and dark storm, one of blackness and lightning and doom. Right now it's about the size of a minivan, but let's find out how we got to this minivan-sized tempest as it grows and grows and grows. How did we get here, adventurers? What in the heck happened?
Well, the story's a real kicker.
Hey!
Who can we blame? Because that's always the fun game.
3 people, mainly, because I wanted to push the chest down the well. And I was encouraged to push the chest down the well. And so I did push the chest down the well.
You can't say that it's other people's fault for encouraging you when you already wanted to do it.
I'm pretty
That's
sure
fair.
he's saying
What I'm saying
that
is
everybody's at fault.
Except
Everybody
for
Especially
except
Janet Tammy.
Except for Janet Tammy.
I
Janet
think-
Tammy is literally the only one that
I
didn't do anything
Especially Janet. She didn't do anything.
You
So,
I
tried
think-
to touch the thing.
Tried.
which
I
would
was
have
cool with
done
that.
nothing.
Okay, we do not need to bring that argument back up. I think we
You
can all
pushed it
agree.
down the well. He tried to touch it. You failed to
Slapping
to
his
slap
hand.
his hand out of the way, and then I kicked it because I didn't want him to touch
And
it.
as far as we know, me touching it would have done nothing.
Because it was already broken. Like, it had 0 HP.
No.
Yeah, no, it had 0 HP.
Yeah.
When it hit the ground, it had 0 HP.
No. When she kicked it, that's what activated it.
Yeah.
No, that's what knocked it over. Like, it was upright where the lid was still closed.
Yeah, but
She
it
knocked
wasn't
in.
active yet until she kicked it.
It's not about
That's what I'm
being
saying.
active or not.
I'm saying the
It's
case had
in.
0 HP.
Oh yeah, no, the case, yeah.
Anyways, we can all agree that it was Janet Tammy's fault and we can move on.
Absolutely. Janet Tammy's fault on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Janet Tammy's fault. I saw Joe say
I
it.
refuse.
She whispered.
No, I refuse.
All right. So clearly, and we can let the audience determine exactly how it was Janet Tammy's fault. I'm sure it won't take long to make those connections. But in the meantime,
If you do not decide, you have still made a choice.
you stand idly by while others do crazy things. It's mostly your fault.
Evil
She was
science
complacent
for
to the
good men do
problem.
nothing.
Yeah.
It's true.
That probably
I
being
didn't have
monolithic
time
mountain
to-
drill.
I didn't have time to be.
This is an allegory for today.
Maybe speak up.
Today's politics.
Wow.
The world we live in. Yep.
Wow.
Or,
so deep.
Europe. The
Well,
world of
it's
Europe.
we're getting really deep here, guys.
Yeah.
Speaking of depth,
Like down that hole.
speaking of which,
Yeah.
who it doesn't matter whose fault it is.
Janet Tammy's.
As the case came open and the storm emerged, the orb activated, you guys then tried to deal with it. What was the
Yeah.
what was the method? What was the method you used to deal with the now thrumming orb?
Well, the method I would use is asking me.
Oh no! You what did you do? Like here it is. It was at the bottom. We hadn't yet finished our recap of what.
Oh, right.
We ended up in the Arctic
I
after a
was
while.
gonna try and
Okay.
pick it up like a clamshell. Like it came out of the thing. It didn't work.
You kept going.
Yeah.
It was stupid.
It had already grown in size.
Yeah, it was too big. I couldn't pick it up.
So the nice lady Prospera,
Lady P.
Lady P came
Prosperia.
over and was like, "Yep, we're boned. Nothing can be done.
Ooh,
Time
yeah.
to take this back to my little
She's
cabin."
extremely melancholy about it too. She picked it up.
She's like,
Thanks, Janet.
well, she didn't
Tammy."
touch it. She didn't touch it. She used magic.
Yeah.
I think. Did she touch
Yeah,
it
no,
physically,
she
or
didn't.
she
It
like
floated.
magicked
No,
it?
she magicked it. She
Alright.
didn't touch it.
Her entire thing's like magic, anyways.
No way.
I like saw her and I was paralyzed. So
So like she
Stunning
takes it
view.
back to her workshop.
It was the the enchanted water that you jumped down in.
Yeah, that's
sounds
it.
made up.
I stole it
pretty
from
sure-
Harry Potter. I mean,
Wait, is it really?
It's right there. Yeah. Well, I mean, you know, enchanted water. It was a waterfall in Gringotts. I mean, that's where I borrowed it from.
Dude, I have no idea.
Well, then this is so much easier. Everything's going to be Harry Potter related now. I didn't know that it would be so easy.
You're never gonna
Yeah.
know.
We're gonna get sued. J.K. Rowling doesn't like that. I
She's-
got her name.
She's cool.
Oh no.
She knows you called her
She's
here.
gonna make my character gay. I'm playing him
a
wrong.
lot today.
Wow.
I've been playing him
This
wrong.
is happening.
So begin writing those monolith fanfics.
Yeah, the one,
Monodrill?
the one where
No,
Yeah.
not with him.
I want that.
Make it with the other one, one of the
That's
Zoe,
dragon,
get on that.
dragon book. I don't think
Yeah,
that's her
Zoe,
job.
write a whole fanfic right now. I believe in you.
By the end of the episode, I want to be able to read Monodrill.
That's not
Oh
your.
my
That's not your.
God.
That's not your
Oh
job
my
description.
God.
Please don't do that.
I don't want to.
You're
Don't-
typing in the
Is
back.
that a notepad? What kind of way?
Don't burn your eyes.
Next week is Quinn and Tammy.
Oh, I can
Oh
read
no!
I will smite
I
you.
don't even
it.
understand.
It says Monolith and the Whomping Willow.
Who's that?
That'll be good.
Is that the little gnome
Is
lady?
that like
I wasn't mixing. I was actually just trying to get back to Harry Potter.
Oh, okay. Wait, we have
Whopping Willow being like a metaphor for something?
Sure.
No. We got to get back to the recap before you
I'm gonna give myself
make
brain
us all
damage. My
degenerate.
face falling too hard.
But she teleported the orb to Antarctica or D&D Antarctica.
The Polar North.
Yes, we got teleported to a gnomish tree village where a old gnomish woman in a hoarder
In
took
cool
us.
adventuring clothes.
Yes,
We took a
she
cool port
did a front
portal.
flip and then like threw
Yeah.
off all her rags and she was adventuring.
She was
clothes.
like,
She's like,
"Oh,
cool."
I'm an adventurer.
Good job.
Yes.
And
I like
then
that part.
Yes.
we went back to the place that got us a little teleporty door.
Yeah.
We went back to the teleporty door, only this time it took us to D&D Antarctica. And that's where we left off. Santa's workshop.
Yep.
You're gonna die.
15 minutes before the
Oh
orb.
shit! Yeah, I wrote that down. I mean,
Detonates.
oh shoot.
Now,
We're not saying
I think we have the ability to curse now.
Yeah, I think we do.
Not all the way.
No?
No?
No.
Don't you tell me what to do, you frickin' poop head.
Hey, Grant, here's looking at you, kid.
I'm gonna not swear if I don't want to. Wait. I'm gonna not.
Wait.
Whatever.
Wait, isn't it? I'm gonna.
Wait. We're in the Arctic.
he's a ninny-headed mungus.
Cotton-headed ninny muggins.
Oh,
Cotton-headed ninny muggins.
Ow.
Try flagon floggers?
I'm not sure if I should be offended by that or not. I need to look it up.
This isn't ASMR. Quit it.
Chip eating ASMR now.
Ew.
Forget D&D.
No.
Grant, I
That's so
swear.
gross.
I will send you the most grotesque Monodrill fanfic ever.
They don't
Please
exist.
stop.
Do it.
Please
They
stop.
don't exist.
No.
I don't have
You
to
have
read
to
it.
write it though.
I
That's
don't
even
want to
funnier.
know
You
can
that
send it.
exists.
You can send it to me all you want. I don't have to read it.
I will read it out loud.
If Parker if she legitimately wants me to, I will do it. And I will have it done by the time we come back.
Do
Please
it.
do
Is that gonna be your spring break? Your spring break like goal? It's like
I will be locked
Monolith
in
and
my
Valentin were
apartment
sitting
all
in
spring
in a
break.
house.
I will come out a disheveled old man. It's done.
That is so.
13 pages,
Yes.
18 plus.
I want a works cited page and everything.
What
My
works are you
life's
citing other than
work.
our character sheet?
And then a wind blows it away. No.
This was my only copy. It was too much. To
I had all the
save.
time in the world.
I didn't save it on my laptop for some reason.
He
After
I
I-
had to do it.
No, he
Oh.
wrote it on like an antique typewriter.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Listen, we're in the Arctic. Can we get to the
Can
Arctic?
we get back to the Arctic, please?
Is that where we want this setting? They're so cold together that they have to go together.
It's a cuddle for warmth.
Oh,
Was only
monolith.
one sleeping
And I'm
bag.
like, please listen here, pal. I'm just trying to stay warm. I don't want any funny business. You
Is
feel
that
me?
you quiver, or are you just happy to see me?
I don't have a quiver. I have a bolt sack.
Thanks, buddy.
It's like a little thing for bolts.
You got a little thing, huh?
It's
So we were in the polar north, right?
No, that's my thing. We're in the polar north.
We're in the polar north.
I can't with this anymore.
I'm being right cheeky today.
Bloody cheeky we are.
So here we are in the polar north.
Yes.
I'm glad I destroyed the world now. That way I don't have to deal with you.
Fanfiction will still exist.
Forever and ever. I'm done, I promise.
It's almost hard to figure out what you're doing here because, as you know, in 15 minutes, the thrumming, growing orb that's in front of you is going to detonate. The orb has already started to grow, as you know. There's an earthquake. It's okay.
Can we get his mic fixed?
Do you mean turned off?
Grant, stop eating chips. You're clearly...
They're so good.
You're breaking everybody.
I'm sorry. I'll stop.
Just eat them all at once, like so quickly.
My mouth will
Just
cave
wait
in
for
on
an
some
awkward
salt and
moment and
vinegar.
bust one out.
Like my mouth will dry out or like pucker, like I'll just like implode.
So we're in the polar north.
From now on, you guys are getting cotton candy for snacks.
You can't make that loud.
So here we are in the polar north.
That's the name of the episode, by the way.
Yeah.
In the polar north. The Obsidian Orb is going to explode in stages.
Oh.
Oh.
Each stage is almost like a cell dividing where it doubles plus a little in size. It's almost too much to release all of this energy at once, to go from an orb the size of a ball to a storm the size of a continent. And so it does it in almost a heartbeat-like blob of growth. Boom, boom. Boom, boom. Boom, boom. But these growths, right? These boom booms occur at a much slower rate. They're going to occur. The first one is going to start in 15 minutes, and it's going to go from being the size it is now, about the size of a minivan, to about to about 25 miles wide.
Oh.
Like from minivan to 20?
Yep, all in one. You will be enveloped by the storm almost immediately as it grows to about 25 miles wide in its first boom boom.
That's like a.
Excuse me.
That's like 2 minivans.
It's a 15 seconds of minivan.
15 whole seconds of minivan.
Going like 80 miles an hour.
Guys.
That's a lot of minivan.
That's a lot of minivan.
It's a long minivan.
The 25-mile size storm is temporary, and you're getting this information from the elder gnome that's with you. This old lady of a gnome who's clearly not stayed at home her entire life, taking care of the forest. She's been out adventuring. You can tell from her weathered face, her weathered hands, and her nature in general. She's giving you all this information about what to expect, and she has told you several times now that this isn't something she expected to live to see or that she ever expected to have happen. but she's glad to have some people like you to help. There is one particular document that she grabbed from her home, and it was a document that basically maps out what happens when the orb explodes, when the orb is detonated. And I'm gonna have Valandril receive this document. It's right there behind you. It's in that tube. It's the center map. Not all of
This
them,
one?
but probably. It's the one inside that one also.
Oh my, it's a Russian nesting doll.
That's it. It's
Yeah.
the most
Holy crap!
the innermost.
Yes.
The innermost
You
Matryoshka.
broke it.
Or, guys, I made it better.
Whoa!
That's very
Oh, wait,
thin
I made
paper. I got very scared.
I did too. I thought that was going to tear.
It's like,
Okay.
That's a picture of the art. It's a map of the northern Arctic, the northern polar region, and it's primarily an ice cap, but there are a few bits of land that are attached to it.
Okay.
And at the very center, where you can see the crosshairs there, that's where you guys are, and it happens to be the absolute magnetic north pole of the planet, of the world that you're in.
do our coins pull from our pockets?
No, no,
Not that magnetic.
no.
that
This is a world of fantasy, but not that much fantasy. The rings that you see, the purple rings, are the growth that occurs about every hour. The 25-mile pulse is followed by 250 miles, which is followed by...
They just throw zeros on there?
No, it gets worse.
Throw 2 zeros?
Worse than zeros.
900, 1800, and then 4,000 miles across.
That's not fair.
The final size, 4,000 miles across, will cover the vast majority of the polar cap. The worst part about that is that the storm itself isn't stationary, and it can shift and move and get other areas. Once it's started, much like a hurricane, it can decide to start moving around the planet, causing issues in other places.
Sentient.
Yep.
Oh, no.
Well, no,
It just kind of does.
just
Follows the wind.
yep, or potentially controlled by demons. Who knows?
Oh no.
All you know is that this orb is
Monolith now knows that it's controlled by
growing.
demons. Metagaming.
The thing about the map that you have that is the most concerning to Eladril are the dots, because this is a map not only of the region but also of the peoples. This map is a little out of date, but last time a census was taken of this area, many tribal families were found, and these are groups of various peoples, not all human, not all dragonborn, not all gnome. They were various groups, and these family groups, they were tribes is a better way to describe them, of as small as 3 people and as big as 100. Each dot represents one of those tribes of between 3 and 100 people.
So which ring is it currently?
The very first one.
Okay.
It's not. It's
So
not.
only one person's dead.
It's not at a ring. The very center where you are, it wouldn't show up on the map. It's the minivan size right now.
Okay.
The first thing that happened is it goes boom, boom. And when I said 25 miles, that's because I didn't have my glasses on. The first bump is 250 miles. It's 250, and then Eladril's got old eyes, and she apologizes. Then that you can see on the map that first ring envelops how many dots? 1?
Just one.
Okay, unless another group has moved in there since then. So one group. This one actually Eladril knows is a group of 40 people. The one after that in 15 minutes, those 40 people will be in the storm. An hour and 15 minutes after that, it's the next ring that's about 500 miles.
And there's 4 additional dots.
Yep, that equal 120 people. The ring after that is 2 hours and 15 minutes,
Which gives us an additional 7 dots.
equaling 250 more people. 3 hours and 15 minutes takes you to 14 more tribes.
Well, that's at least about 8 or 9 dots.
700 people.
I see a
And
lot of dots on there.
if the final ring at 4 hours and 15 minutes, the final bump,
I'm gonna guesstimate like 40, 50 dots.
10,000 people.
Fantastic.
This storm will engulf 10,000 people, and not everybody dies in a storm. The fatality rates are on average expected to be at half.
Oh, that's great.
But so that's
More
not
like 5,000.
it's not all 10,000 people dying. That is not counting the fact that this is in an Arctic area, and so the tempest storm on top of this snow-covered glacier we're just not entirely sure what's going to happen.
Everyone's dead.
Yeah.
We caused it.
Eladriel gives you go ahead.
Is her name Elendril?
Eladriel?
Is it Ellison?
Yeah, I like that one better. Let me just take a look right here.
Because it could be the ship name for Ellison and Valandrel.
Because I have.
I think that's what I
He
was
does
saying.
speak Gnomish, so
think-
that'd be one steamy romance novel.
I think I was trying to add Valandril to the end of it.
So it
Yeah.
was.
It's Ellison.
That's totally their ship name.
That's amazing.
It's Ella's son.
Why is everybody
Sorry.
getting ship in Valandrel?
I don't.
Who wouldn't want to be shipped with a hunky 18-year-old?
That's about to kill himself.
You don't know that.
That's fair. He's just super emo.
Not anymore.
Oh, that's true. He's grown out. He's
Yeah.
grown out of it.
Seriously.
He's still.
Until.
He's in his Foo Fighters phase.
Yeah,
Heroic.
I'm still a youthful, rambunctious boy.
Heroic sacrifice.
It's gonna happen.
Yep.
So Ella's son
Yes.
is in the process of pointing out the direction where this first tribe is. And it seems almost pointless to go and locate a tribe of 40 people to tell them there's going to be a storm, try to get away. Because even if they have the ability to start moving quickly on a mode of transportation, they can't be out of the range in 4 hours. It seems almost impossible and almost like a waste of time. It almost makes you wonder why in the world you would be asked to do something like this. Maybe about the time that you're thinking, why in the world would I be asked to do this? You hear a noise, and a portal opens up, and people pour out. The first 4 or 5 people that burst out are clad in gray robes that have black rims around the cuffs and the bottom.
I don't want it.
And the very next person that steps out after them is Sebastian.
Oh!
We're about to fight a boss fight up in this bitch.
No, we're about to die to a storm during a boss fight.
Yeah.
That'll be the most epic boss fight ever.
I think we're just gonna die twice.
The 4 people clad in
Resurrect.
robes immediately head for Ellison.
No.
And I'm not having you roll for initiative because they are taking their entire turn right now to get surround Ellison, and as they're laying hands on her, one of the robed figures turns around and takes his hood down, and it's Spanky.
What?
Spanky says, "It's been 3 days. Have you had a good trip?"
Does anyone
Not
else
exactly.
feel betrayed right now?
Oh,
I've known him for like 30 minutes and I feel really betrayed.
I'm just really confused. I thought he had
Step in
died.
between the cloaked figures and Ellison, just like, could you not?
No, she's already being surrounded, and you can begin to move over in that direction. It's a small gnome, 4 gray-clad figures, Spanky with his hood down facing you, and you guys on the other side. So if you were moving towards that situation, you'd be between Spanky and the group, and Spanky would say, "I know this is confusing, and I just need you to wait a second. She's the bad guy. Lady P was the bad guy. Sebastian is literally the only person that knows what he's doing. And with a little bit of help, there's a chance that we can stop this from blowing all the way up.
I don't trust
Are we
anybody
next to a
anymore.
cliff or anything that I can jump
I'm
off?
about
of?
to look at
Right?
people
I was
for
gonna say
this.
that. I was like, I'm just gonna like draw my sword and stand there, like.
Veladril
I'm ready to
gets an
fight the
arrow
first
ready.
person that moves towards me.
I'm not doing anything.
I'm getting sick
I'm
and
gone.
tired of people telling me that they're the good guy.
Monolith is done. Monolith is like, sure, you're a good guy. I don't care anymore. Everybody's a good guy. Everybody's a bad guy. It's done. Everybody's a good guy. Everybody's a bad guy. Whatever.
Sebastian says, well, I'm not surprised that you're a little pissed, but it seems that we've got a much bigger problem than how you're feeling right now. There's a storm that should have been transported off this planet the second that it was released, and instead it was brought here.
That's what I said!
Yeah, no, we all suggested that, but that wasn't allowed, apparently.
Yes, because you fools, Lady P is trying to destroy the planet.
You fool! You put our blood in vials and threatened to kill us!
So you'd bring me the orb so this wouldn't happen. You were
Or you
very
could have
close.
just said, hey, why don't you just go stop the thing that's going to destroy the world?
Were you volunteering?
I'm not gonna lie,
It's
I
fair.
wouldn't have.
Quinn's rummaging through her bag, desperately looking for another bottle of whiskey.
Sebastian explains, and he's not wasting time. He's explaining as briefly as possible, and already his hands are beginning to form shapes in the space in front of him, and his eyes are on you, but his attention is elsewhere. And the orb is getting his attention, and hopefully with your help, he'll be able to get some help, is what he's describing to you. By himself, he's incapable of preventing this from bumping, but there is something that can help. Right now, Lady Prosperia is looking for an orb that she hasn't been able to get her hands on. If she locates it and takes it to the South Pole, which is where she's headed right now,
She did say she was headed to the south.
Yeah, no, that's fair. That's fair.
and if she arrives there with this orb and releases it, it's going to suck our world into another dimension, and it won't kill 50% of the population. It will kill us all.
That just seems counterintuitive. Why do you want to kill everybody? What is that? What does that serve?
She worships a dark, dark demon.
The cottage in the woods did not imply that. There's really got to be some good
There were, like,
theming.
some
There's got to be
flowers
some.
and
There's got to be
stuff.
some matching
No, I agree
aesthetics.
with that. Like,
You know,
her personality
if
does
you're gonna
not
be
match,
evil,
like, her moralities
look
or anything at
evil.
all.
We
You know what
get
I said?
this thing off of this
Yeah,
planet!
we're about that later. We'll start a board. A board of evil villains. They have to look like villains.
Yeah, you know what? I agree. They have to sign
Yeah,
a petition.
exactly.
We should get something going. Is there a board meeting?
They
that
should
we
look
can
like
start
Sebastian,
Yeah,
the dick face.
Yeah, you look way
Like-
more like a villain than anybody
Quinn
else. I mean, let's be
finds an
honest.
empty bottle in her backpack and like smashes it on the ground, and it's just like standing there quivering. And she's like, "I'm too sober for this. I'm gonna stab someone."
Well, you don't have to help. You've certainly helped enough if you'd like to stop. I'm going to stay busy with this. We're going to keep this dirty gnome from getting any more involved.
Now,
It-
I don't see the need to use
It is
such
a little-
inappropriate
If you knew-
terminology.
If you knew the evil that she has perpetrated on this land.
Weird. People said the same about you.
Who?
Practically everybody.
Like,
Who?
listen. We've run into like 3 people who have claimed to be the good guy, and everyone else be the bad guy. So you're all dirty. Okay?
I am nothing but a good man. I reform ne'er-do-wells.
All of you suck.
I just say you're all confusing. Like, at least dress the part, you know? Make it a little less confusing. But hey, continue. Let's stop the orb. I'll give you gold. What do you need?
Those boots.
I cannot give you that. Those will not help you. You're just trying to steal me boots.
You're
If-
just trying to steal
You
me.
just went lucky right there. They're trying to steal
You're
me
trying to
cars.
steal me boots. Never will you take me lucky boots.
In any case, what do we have to do to get this to stop being this?
He explains that he spent the last 2 days explaining to Spanky what the problem is. As soon as Spanky had completed his 24 hours of community service, he was free to go. And the rest of you, since you'd agreed to go on the 72-hour quest, you had to complete your quest before you were free from him. You've essentially done that now, so you are free from him. You're under no obligations to continue doing anything for Sebastian. His number one goal right now is to keep the orb from getting any bigger. And if you can locate, with Spanky's help, what was now probably the only thing that could stop this from... It's going to be a 4,000-mile wide storm.
Right.
You could make it an 1,800-mile wide storm if you're kind of fast. You could make it a 900-mile wide storm if you're really fast. If you're ridiculously fast, you could stop this thing before it gets to 500 miles in diameter.
Alright, how about we do that?
Speed is the game, my friend. That's why you wanted me boots. But I ain't letting you get them now, because I need them to make this quick. Hasn't been 24 hours, so they actually don't do anything yet.
Yeah,
But he wouldn't know that.
You seem much brighter than last we met.
Well, lots of adventuring will do that.
Well, we'll be using portals again, and it seems the fastest way. There's a secret entrance to a cave I'm going to send you to. When you get there, I'm going to need you to follow your nose, and it will take you exactly... Am I mixing my cereals? Follow your nose, and it should take you exactly to where you need to be. You'll know you're in the right place if you find another orb in a similar case to the one that you've already destroyed.
how do we know that this isn't just a trap for you to kill us?
At this point, I would just kill you if I wanted to.
Yeah, no, that's fair. You could,
Yeah,
like,
no,
we got
yeah,
an orb,
no,
he could just,
yeah,
like...
yeah,
alright.
I can appreciate
Listen,
that.
if when we get to Prosperia, she doesn't do some monologue about her being evil, I'm gonna be real upset.
Yeah,
if she does
you
not
know
at
what?
least
I'll be-
admit that she's the bad guy and she tells us that he's the bad guy, we're gonna have to kill them all.
Really
Yeah, I can
inclined to
agree with
believe
that.
them.
Monolith, I'm agreeing with you. I hope that she does give... What is this monologue you speak of? A monologue?
Yeah.
I hope she gives one of those. It's
Sebastian would know what a monologue is.
I've never seen theater.
well, maybe
He's well versed in the Arcanum, but for some reason
He didn't take-
Monolith
he didn't take
has a
humanities?
film
Yeah, he didn't.
major degree.
Yeah, he didn't go to school for medieval film.
Maybe he's just not used to real people giving evil speeches for no reason.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
But he reminds you that there's a good chance you'll get to hear that because she's also trying to retrieve that same orb. Mm-hmm. She believes it's in a location, and that's where she went to get it. And now that she's been gone for about 30 minutes, she knows it's missing, and she's on the hunt for where it must be because she's got the ability to go there.
All right, less talking, more portaling.
He tosses 2 rocks in the air, and who grabs them?
Those magnetic
Me.
ones are like...
Joe's got the first one. Nope.
Quinn.
Quinn's got the first one. We'll use your fantasy names.
Okay.
Quinn's got the first one, and Janet Tammy's got the second. And they fall in that order. Quinn, yours is going to take you to the entrance. And guess what? The lodestone that you're holding, Janet Tammy, when you get to the objective and you touch it to the stone, it'll bring all of you back.
Okay, great.
Sounds good.
Put it in my pocket.
All right. The only thing you have to do is get together, and when you're ready, all of you at the same time will touch the stone that Quinn is holding.
Okay.
That activates it.
Touching it.
I kind of hold it out in the middle
Yeah.
so that everybody can reach it.
All
and
right,
not, like, get in my face.
On three,
Go,
ready,
Power
1,
Rangers.
3. Yeah.
Fifth hand touches it as you and Spanky all swirl and swirl and swirl.
That's a Harry Potter thing.
No, this portable key isn't necessarily what we're using to transport ourselves around. As you swirl around and around, you end up disoriented and dizzy, and then a sense of a falling sensation, and then a painful sensation when you hit the ground, and all of you in a pile hit the ground outside of an ancient rundown manor. It looks like it's been decaying for a while now. The walls still stand, and as you look around, you notice the trees and the shrubs, and you get a sense that you recognize this, like you've been here before.
Wait a minute.
Wait a minute.
Isn't this the place with that golem in the floor? Is this the flesh tunnel? Are we back at the flesh tunnel?
Are we back at the flesh tunnel?
You do recognize this place. This is where you fought a ghost. This is where Janet Tammy punched a ghost out of existence with her ring.
I'm still wearing the ring. It's still on my. I'm holding
my
it.
fist.
For a really dumb reason, may we add.
Look,
What happened?
we're possessed.
I got bullied. That's what happened.
Oh, yeah. Because you're where you are and because you recognize this, you have a pretty quick guess about where you're supposed to be going. But even if you didn't know, you're standing right in front of the doors in the ground that you'd explored before. But coming out of the floor is the smell wafting up of absolute death and decay. It smells.
At the end goal.
It smells so much stronger than it did before. And when Sebastian told you to follow your nose, you didn't exactly know what he meant, but you do now.
I'm like, we already been here. Let's just go. Let's just book it. We gotta do this fast. Come on. And then he runs. He runs.
Follow.
Using his Usain boots.
Usain boots.
That don't do anything, but he doesn't know.
While they don't do anything at all, they look so good.
He would think they do something, right? He read a description.
That's up to your character.
I feel like in Fantasy World, what did that description card say?
It said exactly what it said on there, and it would magically explain what the boots are capable of.
Okay.
He would know what attunement was and that it takes a while.
Yeah.
That doesn't stop.
Break in the attunement.
That doesn't stop the placebo effect from making it feel like you're automatically just a little bit faster than you were before.
It's like little kids getting like
When
a brand
Janet
new
Tammy
pair of
Fallon
shoes. They're like,
girl
I can run so fast.
Right.
Yeah.
He's like, look at me, guys. I'm a
so
superhero.
fast. The girl just
And,
like keeping up with him
Yeah,
easily.
you're going the same speed as everyone else. No, so fast.
Yeah,
I'm like 61 feet per second.
totally.
Second, that is extremely fast.
Yes.
Very fast. It's like the space shuttle.
Per turn.
So down the open doors you go, and into the room. There's a broken case that used to hold liquor and a few shattered remains of a bottle that were left down there from that table is overturned, and at the corner of the back room, there's the opening that you're already aware of and already headed down, I believe. Tell me the order that you're entering this flesh tunnel.
Rear guard.
I was first because I was
Second.
sprinting.
1, 2, 3, 4. I got it. We've got Mr. Fast and Mr. Brave.
Mostly he thinks he's fast.
Monolith at the very front. He's probably doing that thing where he runs with his arms straight.
He's doing
Straight
the dark one. Yes.
No, he's not. Canonically, he would not do that. He's from D&D New Jersey. He's too cool. He hasn't seen D&D anime.
D&D anime, fantasy anime.
Yeah.
Janet Tammy, I had you in second place. So you're trucking right behind. You'd been down this path before. You'd fought down this path before. We've got our very own Valandril bringing up third.
Yeah.
And Quinn Brickard bringing up the very rear.
Sighing wistfully at the broken case of liquor as she follows.
Yeah, it's not even damp anymore. The alcohol's evaporated, and it just looks like it's
all
been there.
gone. It's all dry, and she's just like,
Yeah. You run down the hall. The floor is uneven. The walls are uneven. It's not hard for you, though, to duck and weave through the different protrusions and keep from hitting your head. It's not that challenging at all for you to be able to maintain your pace and your uprightness without falling over. Right up until you get to the big pile of bodies and flesh. It becomes really challenging to get around it, because last time you were here, and it wasn't that long ago, day and a half, there were like 3 or 4 bodies, and they'd been
Stop.
decomposing for a while.
That I face planted into.
Yes.
And
It took-
got up my nose.
Took you a while to scrape some of it off of you.
Yep.
Yes.
Juices.
Well, there's more.
Stop.
There's more, and these bodies aren't freshly killed. These aren't newly, freshly killed bodies. Some of them look like they might have even been dug up.
Why?
Stop.
They might have been stuck places and aged and then pulled out again, and
Ew.
it's really kind of gross. But
Is she?
aside from the squishy smell and sounds that you make when you step on them, and the gases that emerge from the ruptures in their corpses, boy, that's fun. They don't seem to be doing anything other than smelling bad. So you just have to climb over them to get past them.
Can I do a quick perception check while we continue running to see if there's
I
like
want to do like sense
dirt.
magic.
dirt on the floor
Dirt.
to indicate direction?
Tell me
Is that-
what you're looking
Because
for.
like you said, some of them looked like dug up, and I want to see if somebody like dragged some bodies
Actually
on the
dug
floor.
up.
Okay, I hear what you're asking. So this will be a nature check because you're going to look for tracks, and that's basically what you're doing. You're doing a little bit of scouting.
I'm great at that.
8+.
Ooh, even better if you roll that.
19.
Woo!
Okay, so you have a really good idea of what you're seeing, and it's shocking to you because you expected to see, especially with your very knowledgeable understanding of where dust motes are and everything, you expected to be able to tell exactly where these had been brought in from. Even if they were carried by a larger being, you thought you'd be able to tell footprints coming from a direction or another, but there's not.
They're just there.
It's as if they almost just materialized there.
Gross.
Why?
Okay,
I
continue.
don't like this.
Monolith climbs.
The pile of bodies.
Oh, yeah.
Obviously.
Yep.
I would
When is
like
it
to
climb?
remind you that primeval awareness does count towards undead.
Yes, you cast that quite a while back. Did you just cast it again and I didn't know?
I'm letting you know that it is about to be used as he's looking at this giant pile of corpses that seem older and not newer.
So are you saying that you
Did you
cast
use
that?
it?
Yes, I am. For all of those listening via audio.
I said I was climbing, so Monolith is climbing. Maybe you should have waited a second.
What does it look like when you cast that spell? What's your deal?
was following.
So I imagine, since it's just about a magical sense almost, that
Like
similar
spider
to how
sense.
like Batman goes into detective vision, like something happens. Just
It's like a
With-
spider sense. He's like, oh,
Yeah.
that's undead.
yeah, I get little like spikes coming from the head and just alerting me to things happening.
Little lightning bolts.
Yeah.
I like it. I can picture it. Is there anything you do to make it start?
No, just maybe looking at it,
Just
and then
looking at it.
focusing
Does it say, like-
really hard.
Does it
Does it
say it's
say?
like somatic or visual or verbal or anything?
Like he just looks at
no.
it and then he gets really stressed and he's like, okay,
Because
let
it's
me.
just considered a regular action.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's a spell though, right?
No, exactly. Not
a-
even categorized as a spell.
Is it a trig?
It's cantrip probably.
Yeah.
But cantrip still has like spell
Components?
to it.
Yeah. It sounds like this doesn't. In any case, we've established that there is a physical component. Valandril looks somewhat constipated when he makes it happen. Yep, like that. So you execute the spell in a very convincing way, making everybody uncomfortable.
Yeah.
So I'm climbing. I'm like, what the hell are you doing?
He's walking around like he just like
ignore him,
poops
it's fine.
himself
Just
and
keep
he
going.
doesn't want people to
He might be
know.
doing something important, you know.
Valandril, important?
Oh, roasted.
Excuse me, let the DM finish his explanation and see if you're still saying that.
As a
I
man
think no matter what
grabs your leg.
happens, I'll probably still be saying.
We all remember the part where Janet Tammy destroyed the world.
That was me.
That was all her. We all agreed on that.
Yeah.
Even Joe.
That was.
Yep.
Hashtag Janet Tammy's
No,
fault.
no, no. We can do this now. Fuck all of you.
Believe that's-
Anyways, we were doing.
believe that's now canon.
We were playing a game.
Connect fourth in a row.
Let's bring it back.
Oh.
Yeah. So What exactly were you doing?
I was using primeval awareness to see if
Besides undead, what else does that recognize? Fiend.
aberrations, celestials, dragons, elementals, fae, fiends, and undead.
And
Seven
the
things.
range, is it things you see?
That is, I will be able just to detect their very presence within 1 mile of my position.
That you can see?
Sensory.
I'm pretty sure it's that you can see.
It just says sense.
Isn't it just like a?
I feel like a mile's a bit much.
I don't think you know where though.
If you were in a
right?
graveyard.
Yeah, no, I
your
just
sense
sense
is
their
like-
presence.
Like you're just like, oh, there's something like this in a mile.
Yeah, I
radius.
know it exists. I know that it exists. I just don't know where.
So,
So you're like, wow, I know that undead exists, but it could be anywhere over there or right here.
Anywhere
I don't want to
within a mile.
startle you guys.
But I can shout out, "Hey, Spidey senses are going off." I wouldn't climb over that.
Yeah, and
I
we'll be
mean, I
like,
feel
who
like
the hell
it's
is
a-
Spidey? And I keep climbing.
Yeah, we figure out if your spidey senses actually do go off.
It
Excuse
is me.
me.
I'm Spidey.
Turn into a spider. Use your.
Have you not
sense.
heard
I
of the
don't- I
daring
have
tales
to
of
take a
Edith
rest.
Parker?
Edith Parker got bit by a magic spider. That was actually this great. Someone looked up.
By an
Because of-
arcanum arachnid.
Oh my god. Someone looked up if spiders have some sort of like sixth sense to determine things based on like the comics, like if spider sense was a thing. And the article was so sassy about it. It was like it was like spiders have an early detection alert system known as eyes that they use to
Wow.
see incoming danger. And it was
Wow.
like, wow, come on.
That's actually pretty good, though.
so not to keep just, I want to make sure I'm not doing this wrong.
Yeah.
Is it not 30 feet?
No, it is 1 mile of my location. 6 if I'm in favored terrain, but I'm not.
But you're not.
What's this skill called?
It's primeval awareness.
I want to look it up now.
Do it.
Don't tell me what to do. I'm not going to do it now.
Okay.
5E.
So, talk amongst yourselves in character for just a minute.
Okay.
Are you climbing the wall any slower, or could you possibly speed up?
I'm really trying, but we
Do you
need to.
need help?
Wait, I was using southern accent.
Yeah, you are.
I'm really trying, but we got. I'm walking.
How do you do it again?
I'm really
What is
trying.
it?
I'm really. I don't know where I'm from anymore. I'm really trying, but we have to extend this. Well, the DM looks up different ways to. Yeah, no, it says
Metagaming.
1 mile for 1 minute
Metagaming.
per level of the spell slot
Of
you
spell
expend.
slots. And I have nothing in my spell slots yet, so.
Do you have a spell slot?
Yeah, I have
Oh,
3.
okay. Good. So you could use 3 of them and get 3 minutes.
Yeah, but I only want 1 minute.
Yeah, you only need 6.
I'm only going to be constipated for 1 minute to sense if there's.
Oh, there's undead nearby! There's undead!
Why is there electricity coming from me? That's the question.
There's undead! Oh god!
Quick, give me a laxative.
It doesn't reveal the creature's location or number.
No, it doesn't. It just lets me know they exist.
That's like stupid Spidey sense. The Spider-Man was like, I'm about to be in danger. And then he gets hit by a car. And he's like, ah, what the I wish I knew what kind or where it was coming from.
It just makes you extremely paranoid.
He gets...
Well, what if it was like a
Something is
flick in the
about
ear?
to happen.
Like, what if that's what Spidey sense was?
Yeah.
It flicks him in the ear, lets him know something, and then his fast reflexes are able to dodge.
He's like,
Yeah, exactly. You see
No,
now.
in the video games and stuff, he always is like, oh, it's coming from behind me.
See, in like movies and stuff, he always does the and then it happens.
Yeah, no, he's like, there's something coming from behind me. And then he turns
So
around.
can we get a verdict yet? We're stalling as best we can.
We can debate.
what is happening?
A mile is just so big.
I know. It's like, if there was undead in a mile, they might not be these ones.
But there could also be a bunch of other ones too.
Yeah.
This could completely throw off everything.
But you can't determine numbers.
You should-
I
you
think if there
should-
was one undead within a mile, you'd be like, there's undead nearby.
I can just sense what exists.
Right.
I absolutely always want you to know everything you're supposed to know. My only fear is that I give you either too much information at the wrong time, like incorrectly, or I screw up some other way.
All right, so we'll go down the list.
No, I got them all.
Are there any aberrations?
I got it all. I know exactly what's happening.
Any celestials?
There are. You get your senses tingling specifically about undead that are nowhere close to you, but are at the mid-range of your senses.
Okay, so half a mile away. Got it.
Regardless, since Valandril is new to the ability, staying in character, Monolith, that may not be the best idea.
Yeah? Why is that?
A hand may grab you and drag you down into a pile of corpses that might be alive.
Then I better go fast.
Anyone got a big stick?
We're the big stick. We're the big stick that's poking around the dead bodies.
Yeah,
I
like
shoot
we're
my
already on
sword
the
and I'm,
wall.
like,
Like we're basically
poking
poking.
around.
Over.
Oh, I didn't know
As I
you joined
climb
him. I
over.
just knew Monolith
Oh
was.
yeah.
I'm crawling.
Oh,
I got
yeah,
my
no,
Usain
we're
Then
all
Bolt
the
that
warning
makes me crawl
includes Jan and
faster.
Tammy as well.
We're all going. I'm
A
like,
I want you to
dialogue.
I'm poking
Understand
them.
that you're getting handfuls of dead body and
That's
just
disgusting.
You know, periodically.
swishing through the...
This is time sensitive. People are gonna die. My
True.
hands.
You can grab an arm and it accidentally
actually
rips
climbing
off.
on me. Like we're
Yep.
not
I'm doing
going
athletics
towards
check.
the
I mean, we're going
big
like
monster.
around.
Yes.
We probably have to get
Is he
past
trying to
big
get the arm
monster
off?
to get to the
No,
orb.
he's trying
Right,
to see if
we're
he
not actually
successfully climbs
climbing
over
the
it. If he
meat
fails the
pile,
athletic
right?
check, then
And the arm
done,
comes off?
then he
We
fumbles
can
down.
walk around the meat pile.
I'm
I'm not trying to
instead...
backseat DM or anything.
No, I can hear how much you're not.
Hey,
I have a question.
Yes.
Does the meat pile extend the whole
we can
room?
walk around the meat pile.
Do
right?
we even have to touch
We
meat?
have to call it a meat pile.
We can go around.
Do we even have to touch the meat?
Like, there's no need for us to climb
Mountain of
this.
flesh.
Like, I thought we were climbing a wall.
No,
Like,
we're climbing the meat.
I don't think we have to.
No, the
Skin
the
hills.
hallway is
Whole hallway.
filled with the bodies,
The entire
Okay,
tunnel,
that's
and
disgusting.
you want to
It's
continue
flesh.
on over it.
the
Yeah,
entire
yeah.
mound, meat.
Cool, yeah.
Climbing a meat mound.
We've been climbing.
Anybody else thinking of the butcher from Diablo 3? Fresh
Who?
meat.
Oh.
You are
Fresh meat. Except they're not fresh at all. Old.
Very much
All up in
necrotic.
my
Very
fingernails.
disgusting,
Ugh,
necrotic.
I haven't clipped my fingernails this whole adventure.
Oh,
they came all up in
why
there.
would you say that?
I'm gonna get sepsis.
now bite your nails.
I
I have a nervous habit of biting my nails,
like,
no
open
matter
wounds
what.
on your hands, cause like.
Nah, I keep my hands very. I get pedicures.
Okay.
At least Monolith does.
All right.
It's a well-groomed street rat.
I just wanted to make sure, cause like
He understands the importance of self-care.
that's okay. That's fair. You know, self care is like stealing a bun straight from the oven out of a baker's
Yeah.
shop.
So-
Not the stale one. But sorry. Sorry.
Yep. I think stealing buns is good. I mostly just wanted to let you guys know that you're not going to have to do anything special to roll to get off of over the bodies or anything. You're not going to have to do anything special. You're just going to have to say that, yes, I want to climb over them, and then you'll be over the other side.
I'm on the other side.
All right.
The other side.
You're on the other side. And you continue down the hall, and it continues and continues and continues, and then gets to that opening that you're familiar with that opens up into a giant staircase that leads down into a large cavernous room filled with stalactites and stalagmites, but not as orderly as the one that you'd come from underneath the tower. This one looks like a much more natural cave that's also been turned into a multi-purpose room, so big you can hardly see across it.
That we've been in here before.
Remembering the previous adventure, we were attacked by an earth elemental.
Yeah, no.
Would I not sense that very presence
You
if
don't
someone
have-
was still there?
It's
If-
elemental.
That's what that was. You never identified what the thing was.
Yeah.
It was something that seemed like it was the color of rocks.
It was a giant rock. I assume it's an earth elemental.
You did definitely assume that.
And you were wrong.
And
So
you
I
were
said,
wrong.
that's what I'm getting at. Mostly.
There were no elementals that pinged on your radar
Got
when
it.
you
Just
did.
undead. Ensuring that there is no oversight here.
Maybe
I appreciate
maybe
it.
the golem.
That it was just player
Maybe the stone
stupidity.
golem
I put a lot of
kills
thought into my answer and wanted to make sure that of the things that you listed, only the undead showed up.
Got it.
Okay.
him. Okay.
So we're down here with something giant and undead and really, really unfriendly. Yes?
Yeah, I think it's something like that.
Maybe if we try being nice to him.
I
he'll
think
be
that's a
nice
dumb
to us.
idea.
Didn't we
Like,
try
I'm gonna be
this
honest.
before?
I'm
But
gonna
not
be
with
honest.
him.
I
You
don't
know,
think.
everybody's different.
I gotta be honest. I do not think it's the kind of creature that has any sort of self-awareness other than kill.
Well, at least I can say for sure it's not an elemental.
Thank you, I guess.
Congratulations.
What does it matter? It'll kill us whether it's an elemental or not. We gotta come up with a plan. And I have just the plan.
Are you sure?
Are we about to do a stealth
I don't-
mission?
I don't.
Exactly.
Oh boy.
Myself and the other non-ranged character are about to sprint on either sides while you two attack them with ranged materials.
Why are
Now,
we listening
I
to
see
the
what
one
you're
with
saying.
the
Yes.
Intelligence.
I understand.
You distract it.
It's now.
Yeah,
eight.
yeah.
It's now
We
8.
grab
Why are we
whatever's there.
listening to the one with 8 intelligence?
Or how about we all just try sneaking?
That's fine. I can do that. No, I can. We can. Well, I can distract.
Yeah.
You don't have to.
I'll give you my
want to.
crossbow.
Well, I can get into
I was just
position
gonna hit
first.
him.
I start walking through the cavern.
You might
and
wanna
just
be-
like
you wanna be
everybody's
further
talking
away.
around the entrance.
But
I'm
yeah,
like,
so
They're not a part of the
Quinn.
plan.
Quinn, you're
Just
you're
let, she's distraction. Let's start sneaking.
Oh, you're a good idea. Yes, good idea. Go straight towards the golem. You got this.
I'm just
Tammy,
gone.
staying back.
I'm just like walking.
You're gonna
and
heal
I'm
us if you
tired.
die.
I'm like dragging.
I have
my
no
sword
idea.
behind me.
wait, Quinn?
Lately, so I can't do that.
Quinn, before
I
you
don't
leave,
know
we
what
need
a
to.
spell slot is. I'll see you later.
Quinn, before you leave, we need to split up the health potions. This is pretty critical.
Wait, you've had health potions this whole
She's
time?
already started walking. I think she made it about 20 or 30 feet away. I think after you saw her moving, you guys decided that you were gonna. Are you fanning out or something?
I wanna get those health potions from her really bad. This is very critical.
You're gonna have
So
to
how
catch up with me
how would you
first.
like to do that?
I'm gonna like fast walk up to him and be like, we gotta split
Like
these
speed
up.
walk.
The boots make it seem like you get there like that. Before you know it, you're right on her heels.
Like wait. Before any of us go, let's divvy up the potions.
You just like turn and look at you. I'm like,
We're about to walk into some pretty deadly territory. This is gonna be useful.
Listen to the guy with low intelligence.
You guys don't know I have low intelligence.
and
Metagame.
neither do you know that we have a bunch of health potions.
He just said it.
I said it.
Oh, you said
They
it
can
to
hear it.
them, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
And the Valadro was like, wait, you guys had health potions? And then he's like,
Oh, that's fair. Okay.
We got him in the tower when we found the orb as well.
Okay.
Listen,
all right.
you pal.
Fine. All right. So each of us gets 4 because I have 16.
And it's 2 regular and 2 greater.
Yeah.
Okay.
Baller.
So just add that to your equipment.
Yes.
What?
Yes.
Yeah.
just regular health potions or?
2 regular, 2
2
greater.
greater. Yep.
Are there any other equipment adjustings occurring?
Oh, I have the. You know what?
2.
If I touch the, I'm sorry, I don't remember. If I touch the Hearthstone to the case, will it take all of us at once, or do we all have to be near it for that to happen?
It'll take all of you if you're within a certain distance.
Okay.
It's based on the blood vials that he has of yours.
Okay.
There's 2 greater and 2 regular.
Yeah. Just making sure that I'm
Okay. So now,
2 healing and...
I guess we roll for stealth, right, Valandril?
Are you trying to be stealthy?
Yeah,
Trying to be very
They are.
stealthy.
Okay.
she's being distraction.
I'm just walking. Like I don't even. I'm just walking. I'm
At
not,
the same time, Monolith.
Okay.
3, 2, 1.
Oh,
That's not too bad.
15.
I got a
Could be
good
worse.
addition, so.
Could be
16.
worse.
Whoa!
It could be worse.
Yeah.
You guys quietly, boy, really? With all your bonuses, you still only
I have a +7. I rolled a 9.
Wow, shit!
I rolled a 9. I gotta why
DM
you call
just
me
threw
out
some
like that.
Alright, all that shade
Come on.
coming over here.
I just didn't roll. I rolled really well last week, remember?
Oh, yeah.
I'm not gonna roll well this time.
I forgot. So you guys
That really just happened.
are so sneaky. The two of you are so sneaky. Just you don't make any noise at all. And as Quinn drags her sword, I'm even picturing sparks coming up as she's dragging it behind her.
It's like scraping on the floor and bump, 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 scrape, scrape, scrape. Yeah. Yeah. I'm too sober for this now. So
and
I'm
the-
just like dragging myself.
And the two of them are slipping from stalagmite to stalagmite.
Because it's a stalagmite, because you might trip over it.
Wow.
Is that the good?
I remember it. That's neat. Different.
I couldn't tell the difference until just now.
Yeah,
Really?
tight, might, tight. might.
Stalactite holds tight on to the ceiling. Stalagmite, it's mighty and can hold itself up. That's how I remember
Okay.
it.
That's fair.
Now that we've had our elementary school education,
That's literally all you need to remember from
Totally
elementary
missed
school.
that.
Yes.
I got this many on my stealth roll.
Really, with all your bonuses?
Thank you for calling.
I'm not the rogue.
Hold on. What's your stealth bonus?
4.
Nice. That's pretty good.
All
Yeah.
right.
All right.
I was
Yeah,
going
yeah.
for like stealth archer.
In any
Yeah.
case.
In any case.
Be that as it may.
Ooh.
You guys are incredibly stealthy and don't make a single sound. You are like the shadows. And Quinn is like the garbage truck on Saturday morning, waking everybody up. And you make it across the hall, or across the room. Janet, Tammy, what are you doing during this parade?
So, are we at the place where we fought the dude before?
Where you got away from?
You mean where
Where
I
we-
blew fire in its face and then
Yeah.
turned and ran like
Yeah.
fucking hell?
Bats.
Janet Tammy, in one hand, before anything, is going to cast, which is a cantrip. Hold on, let me get there. Produce mine. Readily, she's going to have a grenade in her hand.
Ooh, the grenades are a good idea. Indeed. Yes.
I definitely-
She's gonna. How big are they?
I
Like
appreciate this.
big or like
Apple.
apple?
Apple sized.
Nice.
She's gonna
Granny
have
Smith,
2 in her
Fiji.
hands because her hands are huge.
Right in between a Fiji and a
Yes.
Granny Smith.
Gotcha.
And you know, like when you do the like thing with the 2 things in your hand and like you switch them around, she's gonna do that with them while she has produce flame in her hand, and she's
Okay.
gonna be walking with Gwen.
Like juggling in one hand?
you know, like when you have like those like smooth like balls that are like soothing or whatever, and you're like, ah, I don't.
relaxing. I am relaxed.
I'm relaxed.
Yes,
Alright,
exactly.
yes.
That,
10
Okay.
out of 10.
and
Alright.
that's what I'm gonna do, and I'm following her, and I'm just like
Okay.
casual.
Well, you guys have made it halfway across the room. And it's at that moment that we took our break.
Oh,
So we'll be back in about 10 quick minutes.
Okay.
And we'll see exactly what happens after that.
perfect.
Sounds good.
All right.
Prepared for that.
I know, right? Surprise! Surprise break!
Okay.
Okay.
See you in a sec.
See you in a little bit.
Surprise break.
think she appreciated the reference.
Well, everybody, that was a good break. What did you guys think of break?
It was
good.
delightful.
It was
If I
pretty
knew we were
delightful.
taking a break, I would have waited. I had to use the bathroom really bad.
Well, you inspired us. You were inspiring.
So with that, do I get inspiration?
Yeah,
No.
everybody here gets a single inspiration die based on what you've done for us.
So we get another inspiration die?
No, I'm just...
Yeah, we're kind of recapping what we talked about earlier.
Yeah. I was really hoping to get 2 of them. Oh, no.
I was trying to go for a second, but then he cleverly... So he loses his
Way to
inspiration
fuck
for
it
that,
up,
right?
Grant.
Well, he seems to be doing that to himself. I'm not going to penalize him with points.
It's at 5 intelligence. Even at an 8,
No.
it's still a 5.
No. You just put a pencil in my chips?
Did you put chips in her pencil?
Yeah, what the fuck?
That's
Why
a
do my pencil?
Great snack
Grant?
that tastes great
No one's
together.
gonna have
New
this
snack.
pencil.
Pencil chips?
Who's actually
wow.
my
You
You
father?
can write
It
and
cracked.
snack.
It cracked.
Everything I've always wanted in a writing utensil. If
I'm
only
more of a
Slim
pen
Jims
kind
could
of
also
girl.
be a pen.
You can do anything you set your
If I
mind to.
did this, how upsetting would that be?
It's not my pencil.
Oh, okay. Then I
Now
can-
suddenly he doesn't want
I'd be a little disappointed.
No.
'Cause
Oh, you
it's-
would be?
it's his
okay,
pencil.
There you go.
I had this teacher in Listen Up stream. Listen Up audience. I had this teacher when I was in the 6th grade.
Yeah.
She grew up as a little girl, a little 6-year-old. She grew up
without pencils.
in Panama. No, I'm sorry. In I'm so sorry. Japan occupied them in World War II. Begins with a P.
Philippines.
Thank you, Philippines. I'm so sorry for not remembering that, Philippines people. She was there while they were occupied by Japan. And, you know, she survived. It was unpleasant, but she had school and things like that. But when I was a 6th grader, we played this game with pencils where it was called pencil breaks. And guess what we did?
You broke pencils?
Broke
Yeah, we
pencils
broke pencils.
on your forehead.
Well, no, you'd hold it like this, and then your friend would get theirs, and they would pop, break it.
Oh.
And then if it broke, then you won. But if it didn't break, then you had to hold your pencil. And you keep going back and forth until somebody's pencil broke. She was livid anytime anybody played those games, and she would then make you sit and listen to the story about how they would whittle their pencils down until they were this big, and they cared about them, and you're just breaking pencils right and left like there's an unlimited supply.
That's funny.
It
So what we're
was.
saying is, Grant, be ashamed.
Okay, gotcha.
Just don't let Miss Whittle see you do it. As long as you don't let her see it, we're okay.
I had a teacher. I went to go sharpen my pencil, and my buddy was like, "Oh, sharpen mine while you're up there." So I sharpened his first. Yeah, I picked up in my dominant hand or something. So I went for that first, and the teacher was at his desk, the pencil sharpener to his right, and he like turns, grabs the pencil out of my hand, snaps it in half, and chucks it across the room. What? He's like he's a really funny dude. So he was just like,
Sounds
I'm
delightful.
sorry, I just want to see how you'd react. And I was like, that wasn't even my pencil. And he was like, whose pencil was it? And my friend whose pencil was like, what the hell? Why did you make my pencil? He's like, I'm sorry, here's a new one.
Wow.
Yeah.
I thought he
Well.
was being an asshole, but then
Yeah.
it was funny.
Yeah.
It was great.
He did stuff like that a lot. Like he
That's
he
so
picked up someone else's
asshole.
water bottle on accident and started drinking it, and then he was like, "You're shitting on my water, is it?" And they were like, "No." And so he spit it back in the water bottle, screwed it up, and handed it to me. He's like, "There you go." Yeah.
That's so gross.
Nice.
That's awesome.
Nice. All right. Well, he can stay away from my water.
Yeah. That's gross.
And pencils.
Well, you have made it back from break, and now that puts us back in the middle of a room that you're somewhat familiar with. Only one of you is quite visible and audible as they pass through the middle of the room. 2 of you are practically invisible ghosts. And the 4th one of you is just tromping along down the middle as well?
It's not like tromping. Like, I'm definitely like just casually walking along the side.
Half tromping.
Half tromping.
Yeah.
Half tromping around the side.
Make sure you pay attention to how big the radius of
Can I-
the grenade is.
Make a perception check to see if I see any movement. And/or things.
If you're looking for things and movement, I'll have you do an investigation roll.
Does look? Can I say that out loud?
I
Hey,
mean, I
somebody
think
use
that-
your eyes.
To me, it feels like everybody's stealthing along kind of quietly.
Okay, so
stealth.
I can
Minus
just,
one.
I can just
I'm looking.
stand back a little bit and it's fine.
I'm looking. I'm stealthing real good.
Did you see that?
I don't know.
I saw it
Nope.
fall down in there. It doesn't seem to be cocked.
All right.
Is that it?
Well,
Not well.
Yeah.
Not well.
Oh,
it's an
no.
investigation, so like.
I thought it was perception. What is it?
She specifically was investigating for movement or creatures.
Wow, it got worse.
Yeah. 3.
Oh.
Ooh, yeah.
You can barely tell that there's a rock in front of
You jabbed your eye.
You are in a room.
You don't notice anything out of the ordinary?
Cool. This looks nice.
And the rest of you also don't notice anything out of the ordinary. You've made it all the way across the room now, Quinn. Nothing has jumped out at you, made itself known, attacked you, moved in your sight, and your passive perception's not bad. You two stealth monsters, nobody would even see you looking for them. And yet, you don't see anybody moving to attack Quinn. The room seems empty. And when you get to the other side, it's a small little opening that draws your attention. It's a small little opening that seems to be the direction you should be going. There's maybe more rooms that you could find, other hallways that you could locate, but Quinn, who dragged her sword all the way across the room, was headed in a direction, and that direction ended in a room.
I am
I mean,
essentially
in a
an
doorway.
angry goblin, yes. I'm an angry trash
Hallway?
goblin.
In a
that's
hallway.
perpetually
There we
drunk.
go.
Anyway.
At the hallway?
At the hallway.
At the hallway.
Moving forward. Like
Into the hallway?
Yeah.
running into the hallway.
I'd like to remind people that I sensed undead earlier. And that giant pile wasn't them. So, I'd be on the lookout.
That's fair.
Generally, that's the idea.
I'll
yes.
I'll fast walk, like in out of game, like in Malcolm in the Middle. You ever see that episode?
No.
All right.
So
moving
clearly
on.
that reference is going on deaf ears.
Totally.
Well, there's an episode where Hal learns to fast walk.
So
And he
let's
becomes a
just say
fast-walking
you're fast
champion.
walking and moving your arms in a rather comical fashion. Yes?
It's the Usain boots that have a little bit of cushion on the outside of the soles that really gives his walk a little bit more of a wobble than it would normally have. These shoes are made for walking. And
That's
What
just
they'll do.
he was
One of these days,
demonstrating that, yeah.
these shoes are gonna walk all over you.
Save
they're,
it for
they're-
later.
They're capable. As you get to the doorway, the four of you now, because nobody's yet walked in. Would you like to walk around the room more? Would you like to go through the doorway you're in front of? Would you like to dig a hole in the middle of the floor? What do you want to do?
Keep fast walking.
Oh my gosh.
Are you the first one to enter the doorway?
Yes.
And you enter the doorway?
Yes.
Okay.
Roll for
The first thing that happens when you enter the doorway is you hear a click
Stop!
as you step on something.
Oh, you
When-
were supposed
when the
to
click,
look for
You're
it.
supposed to be fast right now.
When the click makes the click, it's because your foot steps on it. And I would like to think that the second that happens, you stop, and your foot is now depressing a trigger of some sort.
and the rest of us do.
If you stand up or move forward, that's going to release, and something may happen if it's still armed.
So, as I stepped on it, I was like, all right, let's go.
So you're like just mid step, yes.
And then I remain.
I like run into you.
I'm like, stop.
What do you call on? Let's
No,
go.
no,
We have to go.
Click. My foot clicked. There's a click in the floor. There's a trap.
Okay, new shoes. We gotta move.
There's a trap. If I remove my foot, the trap will activate.
Heck.
Everybody look around. What is gonna kill me? If I can see it, I might be able to like dodge it or something. If it's like arrows.
Hey, you got the fire on your hand. Look
Deactivate.
around. Tell us
It's
what
a
we're in
pressure
here.
plate. How do I deactivate a pressure? Anybody you got a rock in your pocket that I can set down here?
I
Oh,
read
I
that in
always
the book once,
carry
but it
rocks in
doesn't
my
work.
pocket. I don't know if they're
One
heavy
that weighs
enough, but
me. One that weighs enough for a stone person.
Is there any chance that we can just, if somebody finds the trap, maybe I can just like grab him and move him out of the way quick enough? If nobody else has any better ideas.
Listen, the door frame is behind me, right?
Yeah, I'll just stop you for just a second right before, and let's just paint this picture.
Okay.
You are standing on a pressure plate of some sort. You've depressed a trigger. When that trigger is released, something's going to happen. You're frantically looking around with fire on your hand, trying to find out how to make that not happen. The two of you are just outside of that room, looking in also, watching the chaos, and maybe not being able to help, but at least being there. And how far away? About 800 miles away from you? No, not at all.
miles?
2,000. About 2,000 miles away from you, an orb that contains a storm blows up.
Balls!
It grows instantly to a storm that's about 250 feet wide. And I would like you for the first time to picture this weird sphere, because up until now, it's been a ball that's growing. But this time, when it erupts into something that's 250 feet wide, gravity pulls the sphere down and flattens it out. So there's this storm that's thick in the middle and thin on the edges and beginning to follow the curvature of the earth. And a family tribe of about 38 people has just begun its struggle trying to get out of the storm. They weren't quite able to get to the safe zone outside of where they were trying to get to, so they're fighting it right now. And they may or may not make it out. You have no way of knowing this, but there's about an hour before it grows again and starts affecting a lot more people.
Okay.
Okay, so this has nothing to do with the pressure plate.
Nothing at all.
For a second, I thought he hit it and activated
Okay, and
the second orb.
yeah, that's what I thought.
I was about to go,
like,
really?
"Ah!"
That'd be something.
Yeah.
We just can't catch a break.
No,
I really
mostly
can't.
I just wanted you to be aware that it's just fun to make sure that we realize all these parallel things happening at the same time. Isn't it fun? It's fun when you do that.
Now that we're aware it's a parallel thing,
Is it
Yeah.
Jason?
It's fun for me.
Is it?
So how far away is the door from me? Am I like a step in the door?
Right in, just
Like,
in,
just a step.
just in,
Okay.
how wide is the doorway?
and you're trying to look around and see.
I'm gonna be like, Jan and Tammy, back up. Everybody back up a solid like 10, 15 feet. I'm just gonna jump backwards and let this thing activate, and then we go through after it's done.
Oh,
Why
that's
don't I
better
just
than
pull
my
you back
idea.
really quick.
Doesn't
You
involve
can
me.
jump back and pull.
Yeah,
give it the double momentum.
Yeah. I'll jump and you pull at the same time, and then we go prone. Everybody go prone. It could be explosion.
I'm down to figure this out. We
Okay.
better hurry though. Like
Yeah,
this
yeah,
is the
yeah.
quickest we can possibly do.
Okay, ready?
Yeah.
Based on what you're describing,
Yes.
this is not a challenging thing to do, especially with help.
Yeah.
It's almost silly to have you roll, but both of you roll a d20 with, it's going to be strength and dex.
Okay.
Ready?
Like save or just dex?
These are saves. No, I'm sorry. These are checks.
Okay.
Checks.
Okay. 3, 2, 1. Oh,
No.
we shouldn't have rolled. We really should have just done it. So I got a 9, and she got. Oh, you got a 9.
We
Both got a 9.
Wow.
So that's a 99.
Yeah.
We did like really well.
I'm telling you, the DC on that was low, and you succeeded.
Oh.
I know, it was less than average. This was not a challenging thing, and here's why. Had you tried to go forward, you would have had to somehow make it through a 5-foot space of flying blades. Instead, you stepped back out of the way of flying blades.
Smart.
10 out of 10.
There's really
That's an
no...
intelligence play right there.
Yep, exactly.
It was a 15 to make it going forward. It was only a 5 to make it out going back.
That's fair.
Very glad I did that.
Yep.
Absolutely no way you would have made it otherwise.
Alright, guys, I got this. Monolith dead.
It's just a really long hallway, and every time you get hit by a sword, you go up and then fall back into the sword. So, like, you get thrown around like so. But in the end, you're just chopped up, diced monolith pieces.
Dead.
These blades are not being flung or thrown like darts.
Swung?
It almost seems like, yes, this. There's
Indiana Jones style?
chopping and dicing, and
okay.
yeah, absolutely. There are many ways that the blades could be coming. This would have turned you into chunks.
Got it.
Chunks.
Chunky.
So-
Moved monolith.
As you
All of
step
that.
back
That's exciting.
and the blades take their roto-rooter course, the last of them swing and pull themselves out, and the hallway is again empty, and it looks like a normal hallway again.
Okay.
Okay.
So maybe we should be a little more cautious, but speedy still.
How about
I
you
agree.
use
Cautious
that
but
fire
speedy.
on your hand to look around and see if you can see any more.
Let me
out in the
just,
hallway.
yeah, I'll take the lead. And I guess while we move forward as quickly as
Perception.
possible, I'm going to look for traps as we continue. At least there's
Would
some
traps
traps,
be
though.
a
I feel like
survival
that
check?
definitely means that,
Uh-huh.
well,
It
we're
would
going
be.
in the right direction, right?
I
What
would
else
like
would they...
to.
What else would we try there?
I would like to roll.
English?
I'd like to roll a
English,
deception check
Uh,
on the traps to
How
not activate.
What?
You could do that. It's a DC of 40.
Oh god. Okay.
Can
Well,
you get advantage? Or...
can I get like 20 plus advantage?
Use your inspiration.
There you go.
Dang it! I only got 24. Okay.
So close.
Yeah. I want to roll survival to look for traps.
What?
He's gonna tell you what you're gonna roll.
Yeah.
You're gonna
he's
like
gonna-
it.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, but no. I asked him. is it
That
survival?
happened.
We already discussed.
Well, the end of the
this.
table didn't hear it.
Yeah. So
Exactly.
back off. Don't assume. Okay. You know what monolith? Yeah. What? This is a monolith. This is Grant. Oh. All right. So is Valandro kissing Grant? Hold on. a second.
Yes.
We doing some interdimensional.
Grantadrill?
Oh, stop. I like that much less than monodrill.
It'll just be Valiant.
Valalith. Anyways, moving on.
Start writing those fanfics.
Wait, can I help
Nobody.
him? Like, because I said I was going to tell him what
You know, there was such a long pause there. This is happening. I think it's just going to be on him.
See how exciting he is for that Valandrill monolith?
No,
fanfic?
that was me excited to
He
find
was
it.
shaking in excitement.
I'm gonna punch you.
I got exactly average. I got 10.
Okay.
Exactly mediocre.
With that, you're able to see exactly where you put your foot and the trigger from what started the last trap.
Nothing
So-
else?
Well, that's the first trap that you're encountering. You can't see beyond that one.
Oh, okay. It's dark? Or am I just an idiot?
No, it's not dark. I'm
Oh, well, in my mind, you've got to be right up in the trigger to be able to find it. And for you to get to anywhere beyond where there'd be an X trigger, you got to get through 5 feet of knives.
Oh, are they still going?
No, they stopped, but, you know,
We gotta step on it again? Is there no way to step around it?
No,
It's a hallway?
We just have to go through the
Oh,
hallway.
it's like
You
a.
just gotta go through the hallway, bro.
you just...
Valandrill
Mr. 8 Intelligence.
Grant, it's
is
so
looking
cool.
at everything, and he's assuming nobody's gone forward.
Monolith
Has anyone gone forward?
No.
I'm taking up
Nope.
rear guard, so I'm like.
So at this moment, he's going to walk over to the same pressure plate that he's just jumped from, stomp on it,
Why would you?
and then take a big step back.
Big step back how?
Like, whoop. Basically, what he's attempting to do
Oh,
is
precisely.
seeing if it reactivates, if he presses it, or if it's a one-time go.
It's a good thing to know.
Does anybody pull you back when you do that, or are you just using your foot?
I grabbed the back of his
At this
collar.
point, unless anybody else was seeing what's about to happen, nobody would be.
Okay,
I'm still
it's an
outside,
easy deck
so-
save.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you can help if you'd like. If
Yeah.
you see, Quinn, if you see what's happening and you
There are
want to...
knives on the pressure plate.
We
Probably.
said
Yeah.
deck save.
what did we do last time? No, check.
No, we
Sorry,
just- you just-
check.
we
I'm
just
gonna,
did
I'm
dex.
gonna help you.
We can
so
do a
roll with
save.
advantage.
I wish I got a save.
It actually
4 points.
Well,
should have been a save
seven,
based on my
so-
mistake.
Terrible.
And was that with somebody pulling?
That was with me pulling. It's true.
Oh no, I didn't roll with advantage
Well,
yet.
roll with advantage then.
Rude.
Yeah.
It wasn't going to be advantage. It was her strength and your dex.
Oh.
Well, regardless, yes.
I think I hit
Yeah.
Because I got a dirty 7.
Butterfingers.
And whatever your strength is, it's getting added to an 18.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's a +4.
So then it's not your dexterity, it's Quinn's strength that yanks you back in time. Which, it's off. Luckily, out of the doorway and off your feet briefly. You do trigger exactly, and it is still active. Every time you step on the pressure plate, it triggers. Knives come out, do the slice and dice, and then you're out of the way before your legs come off. That would have been what would have hit you first, because you got pulled back.
That's so funny. What would you do? Like, what do you even do in that situation?
I
I guess
have
I
a-
don't have legs
I have a
anymore.
question.
How
I got
to get
a
your eyes
question.
off, That's what.
Do you guys think that a grenade would be enough to hold the pressure plate down?
No, we
No.
can just walk through. Just
Why
don't
would we
step on
want
the
to hold
pressure
it
plate.
down?
Walk around.
You'll hold the pressure plate down with a lit grenade, the blades go off, the grenade goes off, and then all the blades are gone.
I don't think it works that way. Let's just walk through them.
I
while the trap
understand what
has
you're
been set
trying
off.
to do, but this isn't very heavy.
Then someone lights a grenade,
Not
steps
only
on it,
that-
and then run away.
No. The only way that this thing is activated is if someone steps on the pressure plate. So just
I
step
know
over
you have to
or
step-
around.
Just step off it, and then that activates.
And I would just back up to the time that you did your investigation and you saw your survival check looking for traps.
Yes.
The one that you saw was the one right in front of you, but you earned a little bit more detail from that. The pressure plate that you saw there on the ground, it's about 2 feet by 2 feet. It looks exactly like rock. You're able to, with your finger, trace where the cracks are and be able to tell what's pressure plate and what's actually floor. So there is a way to step around it. Anybody stepping within that little pressure plate of rock will set off the slice and dicer.
Okay, let's go one at a time. Jump over the pressure plate, assuming that there aren't other pressure plates.
Why would you jump over it if you can just step around it?
Okay.
I don't know. It's only
Somebody
2
wants
feet.
to use their athletics.
It's just a quick hop. That ain't nothing.
Janet Tammy steps over the pressure plate and walks forward.
Okay. I'm not going to make you roll for walking.
Valandril is
I'm
just
gonna-
going to do a nice little hop.
Yeah.
I'm
I'm
just
gonna-
gonna wait for
Is
it
it
to
called the
go.
Valandril hop?
The
Or
Valandril hop, yes.
you're successful automatically?
I want to do the monolith hop.
Uh-oh.
Oh, Valandril hop.
Oh, Valandril. Okay, yeah. You nail it, no problem. Piece of cake.
While I'm walking forward, I want to keep my eyes open in case.
Yeah, closing
more
your eyes would be
traps.
pretty dumb.
Yeah, I feel like
If I was to keep my eyes on the ground and specifically look for traps, is that perception or investigation, you think?
Well, it's investigation if you're looking for traps up close specifically. Is that the question?
Yeah. I wouldn't say he's necessarily on the ground like Scooby-Doo, like going around
Sniffing?
looking for it, but it's kind of crouching and eyes are specifically on it. And let's not forget, there is night vision as well.
Oh, yeah. I won't forget the night vision.
Thank you.
Yep.
You can tell I'm getting good at D&D because
I
I'm
need
starting to
those
get
night vision
snooty about
goggles
my
from Quinn.
advantages.
Yeah. Yeah. And you give dark vision a lot of credit.
Can I
So
have a little side monologue real quick with Quinn about getting night vision goggles?
go right ahead.
I'm just going to be like, hey, what do those goggles do? Is one of them perhaps a night vision goggle?
How could he possibly know that?
Because I'm a street rat. I see night vision goggles. I probably used a few.
I glance through like the lenses and compare them. One or two? And just like hand you a pair.
Oh. Well, thank you. That was easy. And then I put them on.
If I'd known earlier, I would have given you a pair.
I know. I just did. I
Not night
didn't think
vision
about
ones.
it until just now when we're in
And
this
the
dark
placebo
cave, and
effect,
it
he's
was
like, I can
fitting
see
to the
clear.
situation.
Yeah.
Made sense.
Definitely not metagaming.
Nope.
Totally
Nope.
not.
All very narrative.
Oh yeah.
Forced exposition, but narrative.
In
He's
any
not a film
case-
student.
In any case.
That's correct.
I believe there were 2 people that were moving forward and looking for traps. I think both of them indicated different versions of this. I would like you, Mr. Ranger, to use your survival skills to look for this. Yep, in particular. And I would like you, let's say, Janet Tammy, for you it's not the same because you're holding up your fire, right? You're just going to be doing a regular investigation.
Oh my goodness.
What'd you
Okay.
do? What did you do?
Are you dead?
It's literally one away.
One away from flashing.
17.
All right.
Dirty one.
What? Bro,
From a 2 to a 1.
what did you do?
I got a 2 minus 1.
Oh no.
Quick maths.
Luckily, it was a 2 minus a 1 and not a 1.
Yes. Plus 2.
Luckily, it was a 17
Yes.
because first, Janet Tammy did not step on the trigger. She was going to. Apparently, she was 1 away from stepping on the trigger. She did not. You, on the other hand, you say you're not doing the Scooby-Doo, but I really have you down with your face close to the ground.
I mean, he's really crouched.
He's
He's not on all fours doing the crawl.
Right.
He's just like really down there.
It's
You're like doing a handstand with your face really
Right.
on the floor, but you're like walking.
Sure, his feet are up in the air. He's doing a handstand. He's walking on his hands.
Oh my gosh.
And as you're moving along, you see a giant half-orc foot almost come down on the trigger, and you manage to get your hand out.
All that happens is your hand is crushed against the pressure plate.
Yeah, for fun, just for the fun of it. We'll see. In fact, I mean, because it's so fun, there is a consequence, but we'll see how fun.
Stop!
Hey, 20. Not nat 20, dirty 20.
Either way, you have no problem stopping and catching the foot, and then while you're doing it, you even lift it up a little bit and
Little
say,
triumphant horn.
and what do you say? You look up and say,
Oi, 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 trap!
Okay, I put my foot down. I easily take it out of his hand.
I thought you meant you just like crush his hand. Like, oh, there's a trap is there. Oh, look who activated.
What are we
He
gonna
loses a hand,
do
she loses a
about
head. What's the
that?
difference?
same. This particular trigger looks like a rock that's sitting on the ground, and you can tell from your good investigation,
It doesn't
your
look
survival
very
check,
naturey.
that it seems like something that is hinged and not just would roll away, and that is the case. It's meant to be tripped on, which would trigger some sort of trap that you haven't seen.
Watch out! There's a trap right here, guys.
Thanks, Janet Tammy.
Wow, that was very observant of you, Janet Tammy. I'm glad you saw that.
Yes, thank you. You know, I
Yeah.
really feel the need to keep an eye out for you guys. Like,
Yeah,
you
that was
guys
very
are
kind of
important
you.
to
I'm-
me, and I need
You know,
to keep an eye on, make sure
High
that we're
five,
safe.
Janet Tammy. That was a good job. That was a
Thank you,
good job.
Monolith. I really appreciate the recognition
Oh
for
my
all
gosh.
the work that I do.
Valandril, you okay? What's going on?
I hate all of you.
Did he find that trap?
No, of course not.
Okay.
Yes, he did.
Janet Tammy, that is so unlike you.
Hashtag
Taking
Janet
credit.
Tammy ruined it.
Goodness.
Coming from the direction that you're headed, you hear a blood-curdling screech in the distance.
What distance?
What kind of blood-curdling screech?
Like ahead of us?
Well, it's the kind of screech that would curdle your blood.
Well,
Ooh, when you say it like
Blood
that.
sufficiently curdled.
You hear it echoing
I
off the
died.
stone
my
halls.
blood curdled, so I just
It's
died.
bouncing from a distance that you can't really determine because of the stone walls.
Yeah.
But it sounds as if somebody's being tortured. It
What?
sounds as if somebody
That's not good.
is being hurt way more than they want to be hurt right now.
No
And
time
they're-
to look
At
at traps.
this
let
Let's
the
go.
world know
moment,
about it.
Valandril will go back into the shadows.
Okay.
He's gonna head towards danger.
Is he stealthing?
So are you being stealthy or are you being investigative?
A combination there, and
I don't think you can
he's
do that.
heading towards the yelling and the screaming, but he's doing it in a sneaky way.
As soon as the
He
screen,
doesn't want to be discovered if something is there.
He's doing a sneak.
He's doing a sneak.
Jan ran.
Tell me what I'm doing, boss.
You ran?
Yeah.
Oh, step on all the pressure plates for your ass.
I yelled, "No time to look for traps. Let's go!" And I ran.
I'm like, no, they're getting tortured. They're gonna continue getting tortured no matter how long we take. Let's just not die. You're already gone.
No, not for yours. You don't have to do anything.
Oh.
Just describe the action for us.
Well, I imagine we're in this hallway, right?
Yep.
And it's just standard 2 walls, narrow, dark, couple things on the floor.
Yep. 4 feet wide, 8 feet tall, irregular stone.
Excuse me.
Bless you.
Thanks.
Not really anything stealth. Sorry, in my mind, I thought we were still like in a room hallway with stalagmites still, and he was gonna like weave through the stalagmites like a snake.
You're just in a hallway, and you're just gonna be like
I was literally snake.
in front of all of us. Everybody has dark vision now. You're just gonna be like,
Well then, since I now know the intricacies of this hallway, being that there are none,
Yep.
he's just behind in like the crouch manner, you know, very much Skyrim stealth in this case.
I have a question.
Okay.
oh no.
Okay, so I have this cantrip called Gust, right?
She
And
almost
the
did
first
earlier.
thing that it,
What?
the first thing that it says is one medium
yeah.
or smaller creature that you choose must succeed at a strength saving throw or be pushed up to 5 feet away from you. Right?
Yeah. You tried to save the leaden minotaur with this.
Yeah. What I want to do with it is push myself into the air.
What? Okay.
Like a jump, like a big jump.
Just once?
This is happening.
Well, it's a cantrip, so I can do it once per action.
You do it like per foot, like.
And it's instantaneous. So I was thinking more like a big jump, you know?
It's like controlled falling. I'll adjust
That's
it.
just
A little
walking.
bit. And it's only 5 feet, you know?
Yeah.
And
It'd
I'm
probably be
not
easier to
thinking of
run.
going to, like, you know.
It'd probably just be easier to run.
So are you
Well, I
trying
just
to
think,
avoid
like-
traps? Or are you trying to go faster? What's your
Kinda.
end goal
I'm,
here?
Like, I'm kind of trying to do a little bit of both. Like, I was thinking avoid the floor and go as fast as I can, you know? I'm not trying to, like, fly here, you know? I'm just trying to, like, get a big running start.
I understand. In my mind, a cantrip is, well, it's not just my mind. A cantrip's an action.
Right.
And even though you're not in combat, combat's probably the fastest mode of play where you've got your 6 seconds. And you only get to use your cantrip once every, not even 6 seconds, right? But after everybody uses their own 6 seconds. So it almost seems like a cantrip should only be used once every 18 seconds or 30 seconds.
Yeah,
Are you trying to do a single instance here, or are you trying to fly?
no. I just said I wasn't trying to fly.
I know, but
Trying to go.
that's true. That's true. I'm just trying to find the extent what you are trying to do.
I'm just trying to be like, to give myself a running boost every so often. Like, so I get like 5 feet ahead of everybody and then run for a bit. And then
Like,
everybody
1, 2,
ends up
3,
catching
poof.
up and then like I poof up in front.
Poof.
Like,
1, 2, 3, poof.
and then
Yep,
just to give me a slight speed advantage.
that makes sense. I think that would work. How do you want to execute that now? Because already you just ran ahead, right? Didn't you say no time for this?
I was hoping I could be like, no time for this, and then like I shoot my hands back behind me and like
Naruto run.
Naruto run, yes.
like a puff of air like comes out of my hands.
Oh
and
yeah.
I jump forward and start moving. Wow.
Oh no.
That's what you get. Glenn.
So you run the risk of hitting the walls on the right or left, or the floor or the ceiling, right? You're trying to aim down this stone column in a way that makes it so you don't hit anything?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I would say that your very first one, where you started on the other side of that stone switch, you managed to poof 5 feet and continue to run. And during the time that you run down the hall, which is about 20 feet before it gets to an ending point, and there's an opening into a room, you don't encounter any other triggers or traps, and nothing gets, nothing tries to kill you.
Before I don't want to burst into the room or anything. I just want to get there fast. Like I know I'm not being stealthy or anything, but like I don't want to burst into a room or anything. Like
Well, what you arrive at are a set of stairs that would lead you up to
Okay.
a doorway into a room. You could wait at the bottom of the stairs. You could go up the stairs.
I'm definitely gonna go up, and I'm assuming everybody's following. But I just wanted to say that I
You just poofed ahead of everybody,
Yeah,
so
you're
we'll have
like
to.
5 feet.
We're not over the trap yet.
They haven't started running or anything.
Lame, whatever.
Okay.
I just
Step on a trap.
I
Come
just
on, step, please.
I didn't like burst in.
Okay.
Straight up, just
I'm gonna
punch your way through.
step over the trap, and since she didn't trigger any, I'm just gonna run up with her
You make it there and also haven't triggered any traps. You made it past the two you'd already identified and didn't step on anything at all.
Yeah.
I'm following up the rear.
Yeah.
I'm actually rear guard.
I'm following up their rear.
Their rear, okay.
Hey.
You were up near the front, right? You were investigating and
Well,
looking
yeah,
around.
in the
and-
grand scheme of how things went, Jan and Tammy bolted, followed by a Valandriel.
right.
Followed by Valandriel.
Valandriel.
And I would say Quinn had no problem.
So much time where Jan and Tammy made him a little bit different.
Alright, so.
I'm your half
Bringing up the rear.
cousin.
Yep.
Wait. We're all at the door now?
Yes.
I'm gonna cast Pass Without a Trace.
Why would you do that?
Are you gonna use it legitimately for once?
What do you mean legitimately? I did use it legitimately.
You've used it like twice.
I've used it twice, and only once was actually useful. So I'm casting it.
So why though?
Because now I can stealth, like, really well.
I got stuff.
I get a plus 17. Okay?
I know you
if
do.
I rolled a 0.
I know you do, but if we're going into a room and we have to open a door, and so like
If I roll high enough.
Just let him do what he wants to do.
Okay.
It's
It lasts for an hour.
2019.
okay,
It lasts for an hour.
You know what?
And
You're
you
right.
guys get it.
You're right. It's 2019.
In the immediate area, you guys get a plus 10.
You can be whatever.
Wait,
you
I
want.
get a
You
plus
roll
10
anything
stealth?
Yes.
I want to.
Let him cast it.
What are you rolling for?
Or stealth. I want to roll for stealth to, like, sneak in the door. Like,
Wait, we're still at the bottom.
So
we're still at the
there's
bottom of
a-
the stairs.
You'd
Right.
race to the top,
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
we did
and
that.
you guys are all waiting there. It's a door opening. It's a doorway.
oh. Cool.
So basically, you're going to walk in the doorway. Before you walk in,
But sneakily.
you are going to sneakily walk in. Are you going to peek in before? Or are you just going to?
Yeah, I want to peek. I
So,
want to be extra sneaky.
The peeking, and most of you see this because you're all hunched around the doorway looking in.
I'd like to imagine it's the Scooby Gang.
Very much like
Everybody at
that.
different heights.
Yeah.
Jen and Tammy at the top.
Yeah.
She's not even late, dude. She's just so.
Yeah.
Well, the comedy one is somebody coming down upside down and looking from
Yes.
the ceiling and coming back up.
Calendar.
Me. Never mind. Yeah.
Wait a minute.
Coming in from the top.
Yeah.
And what you see in your Scooby-Doo pose is one of the cleanest rooms that you've seen. You felt like you were in a cave. You felt like you were underground. You felt like you were piles of rocks, piles of bodies, piles of just everything disorganized. And now you appear to be in this very, very clean room. The walls are smooth, still made of stone, but maybe decorated with something. It's hard to tell in the torchlight as it flickers. The torches are every couple of feet in sconces, and bright room from where you're standing. There are columns around the different levels. When you look in, you see a floor level at where you're standing. But if you walk into the room, you've got to take a pretty big step up to get to a raised second level. And then in the center of that, there's an additional third raised level. It's like a giant wedding cake, but maybe not as heavy steps. You know, it's not as thick and delicious of a cake.
Not as buttercream frosted.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, with some ice cream on the side.
Right.
Okay, we'll be right back after this cake break. Oh wait, there's no cake.
Darn.
The cake is alive.
Cake is alive. Okay.
That's very loud.
Thank you.
Well,
Look, last time the cake actually was a lie, and I was mad about it. Okay.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
Bringing back bad memories.
Yeah.
wait, did I miss something? When were we supposed to have cake?
Always.
That's the entire point. It was.
Says the
it
fact,
was,
yeah.
it was,
Never
it was a
existed.
lie. It was a lie. That's the
Obviously.
problem. It was at work. It was,
Every time I go to someone's house, I'm like-
May 3rd, we're getting cake.
totally.
We'll see. I don't want to make any promises.
Any case.
And
Yeah.
cake.
In any cake, as you look inside and you see these raised layers, you don't see any movement, and you feel like you'd be able to see something with all of the lights and illumination. The noise that you heard from before is gone. You haven't heard it repeated since that one time it made the noise.
Okay.
Well, that's not on this.
I'm still
Nope.
rolling for stealth.
Totally.
And I'm going to be sneaking around.
And
Deal.
I am joining him in that stealth.
Stealth away, my stealthy brothers.
I'm just gonna walk up the stairs.
And then don't I also get advantage because of his little thingy?
Yeah, plus 10.
You do
I was
get-
promised that.
You
So.
get a plus 10. Any
I-
creature of my choosing within 30 feet, and I don't choose you.
Wow.
I'm kidding. I choose you. Of course. What? What?
28.
There you
28.
go.
Very
Nice.
stealthy.
I'm just gonna walk.
Did you get a nat 20?
I did!
Wow!
That's a 37!
You are literally, if someone was staring right at you, you would be invisible. I'm so mad at you right now.
And
Stealthy boys!
without a lot of effort, because he was so incredibly stealthy, Monolith is able to tell as he walks in that he isn't going to be seen by anybody. He's never felt so stealthy in his whole life.
Where'd you go? Monolith?
It's possible that it's the shoes. It's possible. It's possible. It's just he's really come into his moment right now. But he's walking around this room as though he's an invisible ghost. Mm-hmm. And it's because he's so stealthy and so quiet and so invisible that he's able to spot something that the rest of you aren't able to see at first in the far corner of the room.
Oh no.
Torture.
He's able to see a raised little platform that you couldn't see originally on top of the topmost platform. And on that, there appears to be a multi-sided case of some sort. Almost exactly like the one that held the previous orb.
Here we go. I'm just
Yep.
gonna start climbing my way up.
And it's not the orb that catches his attention as much as it is.
Attention.
No, I've already started doing it. Like I don't see it. I'm just climbing the layers. The steps.
And it's not the orb that catches his attention.
Yeah.
It's the sound. It's the sound from behind the orb.
Oh no.
It's a thump, thump, thump.
Oh balls.
And at first it sounds like maybe a demogorgon? No, wait. No, wait.
Oh no! Oh no!
It's
a
not a
hell
hell beast.
It-
It can't be a hell beast. You wouldn't.
No
do
one's
that
ever gonna
to
see
us.
It is the hell beast.
Oh!
If only we had that trailer out for context.
Yes! If only
I love
that
these.
actually existed in like the realm of.
I got it.
If only people had actually managed
Oh!
Right?
to ever, you know.
I can
So-
break out my little guy.
As you walk in, it's in the very center. It's in the very center that you see the orb in a case. And it's just on the other side of the large platform. Sorry, earthquake. That you see this very large creature that is on my side. He was hidden by that raised platform, but Monolith was able to move around so smoothly that he was able to spot that. Quinn, you'll have to tell us how far you got in, but as soon as Monolith spots it, that's when we roll initiative.
Yeah!
Okay. Well, I would say since I just started, like, I looked around when I got in and just started walking.
I'm gonna.
So I
since
didn't
we're-
like try to stealth or anything.
Where am I? Where am I?
Where would you like to be?
Uh,
You walked in,
Right?
yeah.
super stealthy.
I don't want to be too far away because I kind of want to whisper to them like, "There's a hell beast."
So then, if we would need you to see it, and from where it is now, you probably went this way or this way a certain number of spaces until it wasn't being blocked from view. That looks
Yeah.
good.
And I'm gonna try to like whisper back to them.
Well, I should be able to hear it.
What kind of creature is a hell beast? Can you sense it?
Yeah, boy.
A beast.
Yeah, that doesn't
A
count.
beast
Oh.
of hell.
No way. I
Out
thought
of
it was
all
gonna be like
things
I'm
that a
dead.
ranger can detect, a beast isn't one of them.
That's kind of lame. It's like dumb Spidey senses.
Dude!
Who's got a figure?
What?
Who's got a
wait,
figure?
I left mine here.
I don't have one.
Okay.
Right.
Hey, boy!
Wait, I don't. Do I have one? Yeah.
Parker,
We'll have you use
if
the
you could,
unpainted one
place
today
me
'cause it's
somewhere
cool.
near him,
Okay.
please.
Can I just move my camera, our camera onto the board? Okay. Can we do a quick pan to the board?
One of these days we'll get the 4th.
Yeah. One of these days.
One of these days soon, like May 3rd.
Yeah.
Whoa, that's super
One
soon.
of these days are not like the other. One of these days.
Yes.
You even get to open it on stream. It's an unboxing.
That's just a
I
new
guess,
hashtag.
yeah.
Oh, here you are.
Thank you.
Juked you 3
And
times.
who's that?
Thank you.
Is that your other one? Ah.
Because this one's a fire and this one's a barbarian.
Ah.
So is
Neither
that
are
4 of 4?
correct. Yes.
Just can't hide it.
I'm so excited.
Language. Jeez.
Are we rolling initiative? You
Look.
said?
Oh yes, we gotta roll initiative, guys.
Oh my gosh! Yes. Okay, we're gonna do
it's getting too claustrophobic now.
sword and board because I already rolled.
For initiative?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
When you weren't looking, apparently.
Yeah.
I got.
Dude, I'm totally happy with that.
Gotta keep my loud chips
Alright.
right here.
Alright. Can somebody throw me over there?
Huh.
I'm just. Okay.
He said throw.
To
Where?
be fair, I brought this on myself.
Were you like right at the
I'd
top of the
imagine
steps?
like right
I'm
there.
rear guard.
25 or 20?
Actually, no. I'm not. I'm on.
25
I'm on, like,
what?
20.
Sup?
One more.
Wait, I haven't rolled yet. Oh god.
Oh.
I'm behind.
Roll faster.
It's math now.
What is
Okay,
it?
24.
Okay.
Really?
Yes.
20.
Nice.
I got that plus.
Damn, all you guys got great initiatives.
Mono.
I'm good at
I mean, wouldn't you do
15 to 19.
15 to 19.
This wouldn't be a good one to do.
10 to 15.
I got a 10.
10?
12.
10, 12.
Ooh, look at that.
Dude, stealth boys.
Yeah.
Boys.
Oh my gosh. That was the happiest day of my life.
We're killing it this round.
I
Don't say that. out
Stop, you
loud.
just jinxed it.
I can't.
We're doing horribly this round.
Thank you. Wait, you do want to jinx that.
All right. And the Hell Beast coming in at a mystery.
Oh, that's not a good number.
No, I can kind of. I think I see a single digit. I think we're good.
Where'd you see it?
This is paper totally.
Oh.
My senses as a ranger had perceived.
Yes.
Yeah, thank
I'll
you.
give you a
Thank
biscotti
you.
if you tell me the number you just rolled.
It has a curvature. It's either a 9 or a 6.
Ooh.
Or a sloppy 7.
Whoa.
Wow.
Or a sloppy
okay.
7.
Or a 19 with a really itty one.
Like,
Well, I see where you guys are, and I would only want to mention that as you go up a step on a platform, it doubles, or I'm sorry, it halves your speed. It costs you 10 feet of movement instead of 5 every time you go up a level on these levels.
Okay.
So each platform, it's basically like boom, boom,
Yep.
then a little bit, and then boom.
Yep. Count by tens when you get to one of the colored
Got it.
sections.
But we can very clearly see everything going up.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
All
all.
right, yeah.
It's a very clean, well organized room. Oddly clean.
Almost like marble.
Very much. Oddly so. All right. That has Monolith being the absolute first person to decide what to do. Monolith, are you going to try to make friends with it?
Do it.
I'm gonna cast Charm Person.
There you
Oh,
go.
it's not a person.
Well, as Janet Tammy would like, we should probably talk to it first.
Yeah, I don't think it
Oh,
has the
that's-
ability to
that's me,
speak.
actually.
You don't know that.
I am gonna
Have you ever
use
encountered a hell beast?
like a full move action.
I don't know.
All 60 feet. Right?
That's it. That means it's your action. And
Wait, let me move 30 first. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Yes, full 60. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Okay. The end.
Wow. Perfect.
The end.
I want to get close to it so I can be like,
Done.
So, whether this is correct or not,
mm-hmm.
in my mind, you were hidden when that turn started. You continue to remain hidden, even if you're walking in front of this creature. And I'm not sure if that's the stealthiness or the way that you blend into the wall behind you.
Okay.
But the Hellbeast is not noticing your presence. He's not even noticing the presence of the others yet. He is just snorting and sniffing around the side of the platform that he's on, close to the orb.
Derping about.
You don't have plus 10 because you're now within 30 feet of me.
Well, let's change that in
Yes.
a second here.
Yeah.
So stealth boys stick together. And I'm not going to do the full 60. I'm not going to use a dash in this case, but I'm going to go the full 30 and then ready in action.
Okay.
Where would
which,
that put you?
Which way 30?
Whatever gets me 30 is closest to you, bud.
Oh.
He's dead!
He's missing an arm.
He is. It's in my bag. I need to glue it back on.
Oh.
It's the arm with the arrow.
The action you're holding is...
Getting an arrow ready, and it will be activated the moment that ugly SOB sees somebody.
Got it. All right.
Like it.
Well, then that takes us to Quinn.
Stealth boys!
Yeah.
Stealthing around.
I'm gonna go towards the other side.
This way?
Yeah.
How many?
Just 30 feet.
Once you're on the steps, can you move like vertically and horizontally across them normally?
Yes.
It's only going up.
Flanking.
Right.
Actually, what are the steps made of?
Steps.
Marble?
I can go
slick
across
stone?
them. I can go across them, no problem. That's one of my.
Marble is one of your preferred terrains?
No, it's. Hold on. I gotta find it. It's.
I imagine as an earth
Earth walk.
Yeah.
You can move across difficult terrain made of earth or stone without expending extra movement.
Good point. Yeah, good. I like that. You earn this. I mean, it's who you are.
Yeah, I'm literally made of it.
You are literal stone.
Yeah, well, I mean, stone-y. I'm not like warforged.
Stealth boys.
Is that your new
Yeah.
nickname? Stony?
Yes. You guys call me Stony.
Yama.
Yeah, man, I'm getting stony over here.
Nice. All right. So, last person to move. Jen and Tammy? Is that where we are? Quinn? What?
I
Yeah.
already-
You're all squared away?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dope. He's a large creature? Question mark?
Oh, yes.
He takes up 4 squares.
Like,
No, I know what you mean. Large.
Four squares.
Large beast.
4th squareth.
that's fine. I don't really have
So
anything.
fun.
So I'm just gonna move. So this is 10, right? Going up.
10.
I don't really have anything. I can only turn into a giant spider.
No, I can't. I used both of them today. I can't do
I
anything.
thought they were.
I thought that was a bonus action.
Yeah, but I can only use 2 per short rest.
Oh, okay.
Ooh, that is unfortunate.
I mean, just at the level that I am right now.
Right.
Yep.
Well, we may not get many levels higher.
True. This
Okay.
is 10, right? Going
Yes.
each step. 10. 10.
Okay.
Oh, maybe I should have gone the other way.
Can you undo that? Is this like chess rules where if you take your finger off, you're dumb? Or
No,
Yeah,
we're,
that's it. That's the rule.
that's in chess.
we're a
Then
little
if you
more.
take your fingers off the piece,
You're
you're
dumb.
dumb.
No, done.
Oh!
Like you're done with them. Like
I thought you were saying you're a fucking idiot.
yeah, no. If you remove your finger,
Damn!
if you
That's-
remove your finger from a piece in chess, you're a moron.
That's,
You have to use that piece the entire time.
I mean, that's like grade 1 chess. Everybody,
Rule number 1: the moment you let go of the piece, your turn is over.
you're an idiot.
Yeah, they're like, all right, sorry, kid, you moved your piece. You're going to like a different class. You're going back a grade. You're clearly an idiot.
Oh, your poor mother and father.
Yeah.
That's
I'm
twice
good.
Jason's Lord shaped Grant's direction.
No, that was in general. That wasn't a grant.
Okay, good.
Oh.
No, I'm pretty sure you were calling Grant an idiot.
No, weren't we? Weren't we? There was like some play acting going on.
Yeah,
No,
that's
yeah.
play acting.
I was just in that moment.
Stop trying to
So
make
about
him
this
insult-
Hellbeast.
Yes. About your move. Do you want to move there?
No, I'm good. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Okay, that's it.
The
Yeah.
All right. The Hellbeast has not noticed anybody yet, and it's not because you guys haven't made a shuffling noise here or there, or because you haven't done something. he seems to be totally preoccupied with something else that you just can't tell what it is. So it's almost as if your round right now was a sneak attack round because his turn just passed. And that takes us back to the top with Monolith.
I really want him. That scream. I want that scream to be somebody getting eaten. And I want that somebody getting eaten to be Mrs. P. Don't think that's possible.
What if she's
super
not
powerful.
evil? We could have been lied to. She's evil.
We could have been lied to for a 5th time, 8th time. Who cares?
Who cares?
Everybody's
So
evil.
many times.
Kill 'em
Everybody's
all.
evil. Everybody's evil.
Okay.
It's fine. Let's just
My
push-
turn.
Everybody lies.
Yeah, everybody
Which way is it? Is it facing that way, eating whatever?
It's facing... Okay, no, it's not. Its little snout is down in the corner next to that... this way. Yeah, there, perfect. No, yes!
Okay.
Yep, and it's down, eating off the ground.
He's so big.
Yeah, it's really rather giant. There's always a bigger hill beast.
Oh, you shouldn't have said that. Why is there always a bigger Hellbeast?
He got to do the sand quote. I just wanted to do some prequel stuff.
Oh.
That's coursing.
Gotcha.
That's everywhere.
Okay.
Did you know that, Greg?
Yes, I did.
Now this is pot. No. Okay, not gonna do it.
Don't do it. I have the.
You were the chosen one.
We can't do it. He has the high ground. Don't try. Okay, I'm gonna. I really like. I don't want to attack it because I either have to get really close and then lose my stealth buff, or I just kind of want to like sneak around forever while the stealth buff lasts.
Now that he has it, he doesn't want to get
I don't want to get rid of it. Okay, I'm gonna move. I'll be away. I'm gonna move 5, 10, 15,
Look at him go.
20, 25.
It's like he didn't even care.
30.
Those shoes.
Oh.
And then I am going to. Okay. Okay.
I think we're all pretty excited.
Okay. I'm gonna hold an action.
What action are you going to hold?
I'm going to hold a crossbow action.
So you have your crossbow out, bolt loaded, ready to
Correct.
go, and you're going to unleash hell if...
If he sees somebody, same as him.
Okay.
If he sees somebody, actually, I'm gonna move 25 feet and peek around a pillar. Call of Duty style.
Got it.
This is it.
Airplanes make that noise all the time. Don't worry. All right.
This is it!
We gotta beat this guy quick.
Uh,
I mean, technically, we only spent like 13 to 18 seconds or something.
It hasn't been that long.
No.
Well, just if you're keeping track, it hasn't quite been 10 minutes, but it's been getting close to 10 minutes. You guys spent quite a bit of time with those traps.
That's true.
It might have seemed like it went quick, but there was a lot of hemming and hawing about the different ways to get around them
Yeah.
until everybody said, you know what, I just don't care, and started walking.
Yeah.
Holding an action, we're going to take it all the way to you, Valandril, and keep in mind that you've held an action right up until this moment.
Hold a second.
Before your turn starts, it's about to expire, and the trigger hasn't occurred, so then that takes us to your turn.
At that moment, I'm going to move a little bit closer. I'm going to stay on the same level. I'm going to move at least 30 over. I'm going to get myself more in line with the Hellbeast. And I will do the same exact thing. So he's moving with his bow and still draw. It's kind of in a crouch movement. It's just getting in a better position, that's all.
Okay.
But he's still quiet. He's looking at his stealth brother from another mother. And basically waiting for everything to be unleashed.
Ooh, you got plus 10.
Yes!
You're 30 away.
Stealth boys.
Now, does that add to my hit die?
And would that
or-
also count as a sneak attack when my action's
like my
triggered?
DC, my to hit. Does that add a 10 to the hit or no?
No.
No, just
Okay.
your stealth. Just your stealth.
Just like, or acrobatics. Or sleight of
Or
hand.
does it say or does it say?
It just says 2 dexterity checks.
Oh, okay.
Oh, all dex checks.
Yes.
Okay.
There's only 3 of them, though.
Quinn, what you gonna do?
Alright. Are those green circles surrounded by the square? Those are pillars, right?
They are.
Okay. So I am gonna move that way and up onto the next level behind that pillar.
15.
Actually, you know what? No. I will walked all this way without doing anything stealth-wise. I'm just gonna step onto the next level
10,
and keep going to my full range of movement.
25, 30.
Oh,
Do you want
great.
to get up there with your action? Or do you want to be there?
You want to hold an action?
Yeah, I'm gonna hold an action. My sword's already drawn. I'm just kind of like holding it, staring at this thing.
What action are you holding?
A dodge action.
So you're holding a dodge, and the trigger is if you need to dodge.
Yeah, as if he like jumps at me or tries to eat me or something, swipes at me. I am dodge.
Okay.
Sleight of hand with this guy.
So
Steal a scale.
while he was had his head down, from your perspective, if you've ever been to a zoo and seen a large animal eating from a trough, their big head is just up, and then it goes down and it eats at the trough, and then the head comes up and chews, and then goes down. I'm picturing all of my time growing up near the dairy and watching cows.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking of.
Jane and Tammy, is that you?
But this is a little different because
Daddy.
from Quinn's perspective, this giant beast keeps sticking its head down and feasting, and when it picks its head back up, it has blood and gore around its teeth and mouth, and the chewing is more of a crunching of tendons and bones, and you're hearing the crunch, crunch, crunch. It's hard to tell what's being chewed and crunched because it's so gory and squishy. But it's while the crunching is coming to a close, a thoughtful last few crunches, when it notices the person standing on the same level as it is. And it's Quinn. And there she is. And that doesn't mean it's his turn, but that's just what happened.
Mm-hmm.
The Hellbeast just noticed a person.
Uh-huh.
You would have to tell me that you'd like to do...
That arrow is gonna go a luncheon.
Okay. Roll to attack.
And then, question, since I'm all stealth-like, do I get a stealth bonus?
No, I think that's only,
Only rogues.
yeah.
You don't have
No,
to
that's
see
not
that.
true. Anybody can have a stealth bonus,
Yeah,
and the fact of the matter is that the direction he's looking, he's not looking at you. You do get the stealth bonus.
Alright, guide me through this, rogue. What do I do?
Sneak attack? What is a stealth
Here it
bonus?
comes. It's a D4, right?
We talking sneak attack?
What?
Been a while.
Let's see if I hit
Been a while
first.
since I watched all those videos.
It's a D6. If it's a sneak attack, then you get 1d6.
Oh, 6?
Yes.
Doesn't matter anyway.
Okay. I just thought it was
For
a
damage.
D4. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, good.
Alright, so anyways, let's start with the hit first.
Okay.
I got a 26.
Oh, that hits like a boss.
I was like, whoa, if we gotta get above 26, we're screwed.
Yeah.
Gotta
Alright,
find a puzzly way out of it.
what am I rolling? So obviously my
Original die plus a d6.
Yeah, it's
plus a d6.
it's as if you're in. Yeah. So
As if
first
you're
you
a
just.
level rogue.
Got it. So
Is that an 8?
hold on.
7.
15 damage.
Wow. Wait a minute. What did you roll?
I got an 8 plus 4
Oh, and
plus
then...
a 3 on.
Okay, because I was like, 8 plus 6. That's not... that doesn't add up.
Yeah, no, plus 4 with longbows.
Yeah, that's fair.
So this Hellbeast is having a meal all by himself and enjoying it. He's crunching away. He's been a good Hellbeast. He's been doing his work.
Aw, why are you making him like...
He hasn't. Why am I personifying him?
I hate this.
Yeah, you're making this sympathetic.
I'm sorry. He's a beautiful creature.
Oh,
He's a-
beautiful regal creature.
He's a beautiful regal
Looks
creature.
like
I'm
Coming
gonna
out of
smite the
Doom.
shit out of him.
He's currently in the middle of ripping the rib cage off of a sentient being and chewing it up and eating it. He's so beautiful.
No.
And as he beautifully does this, from out of nowhere, he spots a creature, a being, walking towards him, standing there. And while that registers, from out of nowhere, a horrible, horrible stinging pain in his side. An arrow catches him in a way that arrows don't normally catch him. Doing an incredible amount of damage, probably because it was so unexpected and Valandril was able to aim so specifically at a painful, painful spot. Mm-hmm. The arrow lands true and takes a mighty whack out of the Hellbeast.
I'd like to say that since he shot it, I'm also shooting it. Since I held that action.
You totally did. Your trigger was also if it was seen?
Yeah. So I just wanted to let that go.
Yeah, no, I love it.
Boys!
Stealth boys double. He's
Second.
like, ow! Oh!
If you hit.
If I hit. Good point. Gotta hit
Parker,
first.
why?
Thank you for jinxing it.
Well, see, and you get advantage. So that's the whole point. When you're hidden, you get to roll twice.
I get to roll twice. Thank you, D&D gods.
Let's see about that first.
Oh my goodness.
Is that?
Push it. Yeah.
Let me just say that the first roll was a 1. So the fact that I get to re-roll is stupendous. But I got a 21 to hit.
That hits.
Hits. Okay. Let's roll my d8 for damage. That is extremely cocked. That's like practically on its edge. Very special. Okay, 4 plus 3. 7.
Oh,
Plus.
wow.
Stealth.
Great. You're doing such a good job.
Plus, we ain't done yet, honey.
Oh, yeah.
Come on. Toots. Give my dice a little kiss. Yeah, thank you, Toots.
Mwah.
Double d6 for the double damage.
Oh, my God.
Ah,
Sucked.
damn it. That was
awful.
really bad.
That was really
It's just
sucky.
another 3.
That was
That's
bad.
10 damage. I got 10 damage.
Maybe you can
Help me out with all your dice rolling.
So I got a 4 plus 3 is 7, and then I got a 3, so 10.
2
Like I got
D6
a
for
1
sneak
and a
attack.
2. A 1 and a 2 for 3 plus 7.
Oh my gosh, I forgot that you jumped up to 2d6 for
2
stealth.
d6s.
Yeah.
And I wasted it.
And what's
Immensely.
what's the total then?
10.
That's still a massive hit on this guy. And it's not that he's it's not that he's a squishy character, but you guys are digging deeper than you're used to digging. This is about your speed.
Level 3.
This is about your speed.
Oh, wow.
Assuming he doesn't do what he's capable of doing during his turn. That takes us to, let's see, we had held action, Janet Tammy.
Me.
So that's 25 points of damage in like a single instant.
Whack whack!
I think you said this earlier, so I'm sorry, but the thing up here, this is where we
What's
see a
that?
case.
Wait.
Yes, and
Does a held action count as a normal action?
No.
no, that's now you've completed your turn from
Because
previously.
you know,
Okay.
on
Yeah.
your turn.
Yes, okay. I was confused. Seeing us both go, it's confusing. So, your turn.
Thank you.
Sorry.
You know you go.
Both our triggers were just the same.
Yes.
And we can I see the runes on it at all?
Okay.
On the case.
It's kind of far away from where you are. From your distance, the best you can make out is that it's the same shape as the one that you'd seen
Right. There's like
get
nothing
kicked
else
open.
in the room that looks similar to this. Like this is it.
No, not at all. Those 3 other columns that you see, they are just sitting there, and there is something on each one, but it's what seems to be a marble statue on each one.
Okay. And this is like a pillar, a column pillar.
Yeah, it's the same kind of 5 foot up, and then on that is that 5 foot cube where the orb is resting.
Okay. Would it be an action to put the hearthstone in my hand?
No, that'd be pulling out. That's an interaction.
Okay.
Huh?
The stone that Sebastian gave us.
No, we threw that in the river.
This is round 2, baby.
Oh, the new
Yeah.
one. I forgot about that.
That's it. I just like that's not it, but that I wanted to say that. So, 5, 10,
Excuse you.
25, 30, and then 25.
It got really quiet.
This is serious.
Things are happening.
Could
This is
he see me
serious
if I was right here? Would I know that?
If only we had.
You wouldn't know, but you would assume anything would be able to see you. You're in the middle of battle. It's taken 2 hits. It's now hyper aware of its surroundings.
Yeah, but like, is this like a
That's a
fully shielded?
That's just another step.
It's not enough to hide you. It's such a tall beast that it's no problem for it to see up and over and around that thing.
Okay, then I'm going to go up 1, and then I'm gonna crouch,
You could roll a stealth check.
and then that's it. I'm gonna wait.
Are you holding an action or are you just waiting there?
This is a step.
Yes.
I'm gonna hold an action.
Okay.
No, I'm not. I lied. That's it. That's all I got.
Yeah.
Or can I hold a dash?
You can hold a dash, you can hold a dodge, you can hold any possible action. You can even
Hold
hold a, like a perception, like I choose to perceive if this happens.
What if you choose Pikachu?
Can't do that. Oh, sorry.
I'm going to. Okay, I'm gonna hold my dash action.
Doesn't he have to choose you?
No, you
Well,
just put
I
him in
know
that
that
ball,
choosy
and
moms
whether
choose
he likes it or
Jack.
not. You beat him
You mean GIF?
almost into submission.
Wow.
And then you throw a ball at him, and then he's forever. Until you sell him on the eBay.
Nice.
Oh, I thought you were going to hit me.
I had no idea what was going on.
I'm
Cat
not used to being applauded for gift jokes.
Ah.
Usually it's punches.
Oh.
I'm gonna hold my dash action for
I'll show you.
if he moves any direction away from me. You know?
Okay, if the opening arises, you're going to take a dash action.
Yeah.
Okay.
Towards the pillar.
All right, well, there you are, and
You can do.
I guess the dash action is going to give you 30 feet of movement from that point. Okay, fair enough.
And I disapprove.
Could it, what? Never mind.
I disapprove of this.
What?
You're trying to get out of combat.
10, 10, 15.
I think you're good. It's 25.
Yeah,
to
yeah.
get there.
I was over here and I moved over here and it was 25 movement, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
And if I hold my dash action, could I add that extra?
Mm-mm. I mean, based on the rules, no.
Yeah.
Okay.
If we want to throw the rules out, we could, but
Whatever.
That'd be no fun.
Well,
maybe if you had some nice Usain boots.
Ooh, that's true. But oh my goodness, he's like sitting on top of his own head.
That isn't
She's
probably the most beautiful cat that's ever lived. Absolutely stunning.
A picture of elegance and,
Oh,
and
man.
grace.
yeah.
I just want to.
Pictures.
I just want to put my head on her and use her for a pillow.
Yeah.
I do that.
We're
and
talking
she
about the
likes
cat,
it.
not
I
the
love her
Hellbeast,
so
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If the Hellbeast looked like that, I would love the Hellbeast too.
Okay. Oh my. Okay. All right. Let's move on.
Speaking of moving on.
Oh, she's so cute. I can't deal with it. That's it.
All right.
Slowly pushing Zoe's laptop off the table.
Zoe, she loves you.
Or she wants you to break your laptop. Like, screw this thing.
Generally that's both with cats.
Gotcha. They do like pushing things off the tables.
Sorry. I'm going to have you help me move the Hellbeast.
Mm-hmm.
It's moving towards Quinn. It's going to go around the corner and go right up into melee range with her.
Okay.
Boom,
You
right
gotta-
to there.
you gotta use your-
It's got
I'll wait until-
it's got multi attack. It's
Oh no!
it's going to use
That's no good.
Well, I'm ready to dodge action.
Oh yeah.
so get ready to use that.
Does
That's
that mean
true.
that it's disadvantage for when he attacks, or does that mean you just
That just
move
means you
away
get a chance to like roll a dex saving throw,
to get out?
and if you fail it, you just get hit.
So GTFO.
Yeah. You tried a GTFO, but you didn't
Yeah, I am
always-
attempting the GTFO.
I'm attempting the GTFO.
All right, let's do this.
Protect me should I fail.
How does I forgot the dodge rule? Was it is it that he attacks with disadvantage or you make a dex save?
I actually don't know for
I
sure.
feel like
Is it the same as that monk feat, the patience defense? Because that's disadvantage.
When you take a dodge action, you focus entirely on avoiding attacks. Until the start of your next turn, any attack roll made against you has disadvantage.
Oh.
If you can see the attacker, you make dexterity saving throws with advantage. You lose this benefit if you are incapacitated.
Okay.
So
both. Technically.
any attack roll made against you has disadvantage, but you get dexterity saving throws since you can with advantage since you can see him.
Right, if he like does anything that requires such
Yeah.
Which it
Okay.
looks like that is.
Does that sound like double to you? Because that sounded like double to me.
Sounds like double to me.
Because your dodge is its own thing.
Yeah.
Since it's held, when he makes his attack, you're going to try to dodge out of the way.
Yeah.
That'll be disadvantage and that. Okay, so then the first attack is going to be a... Let's do
Are you
a
like rolling against each other?
tail attack.
Ooh, tail attack.
Yep.
That's cool.
I'll spin them around. Nobody's gonna see it, and I'll be like,
Flappa! Okay, no, that's good. Yeah, leave
Is
the
it-
tail right there.
Does he get disadvantage on all of the attacks, or is it just the first attack?
Yeah.
This one.
Just
Okay.
this one, because
Okay.
I didn't ready the dodge action.
Right. When you ready a dodge action, you've got you're protected from a single attack.
Yeah.
Because you could be attacked by 5 different people with 3 attacks each, and
Right,
you don't
right.
get to like keep doing matrix stuff out of the way.
Yeah.
Unless, what are we reading?
unless it says until the start of your next turn, any attack roll made against you has disadvantage. So until it's her turn,
Okay, the attack roll does, but she doesn't get a chance to dex out of the way
But the dex out of the way is if there's a dex out of the way situation.
if somebody attacks you. Because right now
No,
she's
'cause
got.
if somebody attacks you, if
my
they're
head hurts.
because
Hold on.
it's like if somebody throws a ranged spell at you and it's like one of the ones where it's like jump out of the way to avoid the fire, then you
I love
make a
those ones.
dexterity saving throw to get out of the way, right? And then you get advantage if you take the dodge action because you're dodging out of the way, right?
That was English, yes.
Did
Yes.
that make sense? Did I not like?
None of this makes sense to me.
I am very confused. I think
Well,
know
I
what
think
it
I
is.
think I know what's supposed to happen,
Okay.
and I'm gonna play as if I know what's going
Okay,
on.
Gotcha.
totally. The rules
Because
are
I'm-
yours.
totally
Towards
fine.
the end.
I'm feeling mostly confident about this.
Okay, do it.
The first attack is going to be just a regular attack, but I'm going to be rolling at disadvantage. So
Yes.
I'm going to roll twice,
Okay.
and based on that, I would say that. Well, let's just do this first thing. Okay. Well, 17 hits the first one, but with disadvantage. 12
Does not hit.
Not plus.
plus 9.
It's quite a
All
lot.
right, that hits.
Oh no.
All right.
Heck,
Can you not dexterity out of the way? I'm so confused.
I guess not.
I don't think so.
No, on this one, I was going to let you
So he's gonna
choose,
hit
but
us.
since this is a hit, yeah, you are going to get a chance to dex out of the way of the tail. This is your one chance to be Neo,
Advantage.
and this is definitely a save,
Get it.
so it gets any bonuses you might get.
It's a dex save.
Yes.
How about a 21?
What?
Yeah.
Wait, you got advantage. Do it again, just for fun.
22.
Yeah. What'd I tell you?
I gotta tell you, it did not look as cool the first time, but the second time, it was amazing. The tail came swinging across, and this is a wide tail. The angle of the tail is almost obtuse. It's so thick, swinging around, and you do the most poetic limbo. You just lay back. And I don't want to use Matrix. I don't want to use Neo. I want to use Limbo because you make it look like a party when you pop back up. Boom!
Okay.
And you're standing in the same spot. Feet haven't moved at all. But you took
Whoa,
absolutely...
That's some serious calf and ab muscles.
You took no damage at all.
Yeah.
0
Did he
damage
like go
on that.
360 and like, whoa, what?
Yep. And he's a little dizzy.
Confused.
A little shit.
I am
Fantastic.
Confucian.
Now he's taking a horn attack on the exact same person. As far as he knows, you're the one that shot him with 2 arrows. He's not very smart.
Thanks.
I love this guy. He's my kind of guy. I can shoot him
no.
and he won't care.
Stealth boys.
Stealth boys.
His first one's a 14.
With any bonuses?
No, I mean just flat 14. I've already added everything. It was a
That is
terrible
the
Like
roll.
smiley
That
faces?
is my armor class, yes.
That's the shittiest one.
So
Okay.
you would win.
Then the disadvantage roll is
You should be a foother.
So we take a look at the smiley face. Tell me how.
I'm guessing an 11 then
Bottom
misses.
right corner.
Yes.
On
All
the
right.
corner.
Well, the only real bad news I have for you that his multi-attack is 3. And here comes his third attack.
Okay.
It's also going to be horn.
Alright, let's do it.
We've gone tail, horn, horn.
Let's do it.
That was just the charger. Don't care.
15 plus hits. 6 plus hits. 6 plus.
6 plus what?
It hits. 9, 15.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's just gonna hit us no matter what.
Now the horn attack is.
He has to roll a 5 or less to not hit. Well, to hit her. He has to roll like a 4 or less to not hit me.
Let me try on 5.
You take 8 points of damage.
Ouch.
And that damage is goring damage.
Ouch.
That's.
That means your intestines fall out.
I just got stabbed and my intestines are
Can I
falling
take
out right
my
now.
my dash held action?
Yeah, because he moved away from the area where he was, and that was your hold. That was the last of his attacks on you, so that's the only damage you take.
Cool.
Yes, you may take your saved action to dash.
5.
10,
10.
Oh, that's 10?
15, 20.
30.
Oh, nice.
Perfect.
30. Can I diagonal jump or no?
Yeah.
30.
That's melee range. You could touch it.
You can do that with the
It's not my turn.
Okay, so you've dashed. Good call. And that takes us to the top of the order, Monolith.
It might just take you.
Yeah, if it does take you out of there, you know what? I'm just gonna dive screaming after you.
What? No, because there are only 2 Hearthstones. If only 2 people leave, the rest of us are stuck here.
That'd be
No.
kind of goofy.
Did you
One
hear
of them,
that
no,
evil
one
laugh?
of them was to get us here. The other one is to get us out.
Mine is to get us out.
Okay, but is it like a proximity, or is it like you have to be touching?
Look.
I
'Cause-
think it's a everybody that the Hearthstone.
I sure as hell hope so, because if you dip and we're stuck here,
I'll
that's
come
gonna
back for ya.
suck.
So obviously this conversation is not occurring during combat,
no, not at
but
all.
this conversation would have occurred at some point during the time that you were walking down here. So it has happened. Another conversation that has already happened that you're not having now because it already happened
Right.
is that you talked about how the 4 of you landed in this old rundown manor that you all recognized. But Spanky, who materialized or dematerialized with you, did not land with you.
Oh.
That's been discussed, and so has the fact that, well,
Okay.
Did Spanky get eaten?
Oh no! Oh no! That's not even.
you guys have already discussed.
Can I do an investigation on the I need to know now.
You guys have already discussed not only that Spanky wasn't there,
isn't here.
but that the second Hearthstone was going to be triggered when it touched the case, and that it would affect all of you adventurers because he had your blood.
Take us out.
It has to do with your blood.
I want to kill it.
All right, well, do your best, and we'll just no, please get us out of here.
Okay. Okay. Here we go. I am sneaking all the way up to his bootay. I have on the way there. I'm like I put my crossbow away. I pull out my daggers and like I just stab right for his bum. I just stab right for a
This is
Both
what's
of them
known
at the
as the
same time,
monolith
like
leaf.
plugging in at the bottom.
An acrobatic bump stabbing. Got
yes. And since he doesn't see me,
it. Oh yeah.
I get it.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You know that meme?
Advantage and stealth.
He's like Thanos year of.
And
Because
then
you can't
Princess
see me.
Thanos.
Yeah.
You cannot see me, so I get to roll twice. Wait,
Advantage
I get
is
to
one of the
roll-
most powerful bonuses you
Oh,
can get.
Do I get 4 rolls since I'm rolling for each dagger? Twice per dagger?
Yes.
Okay.
But do this. Roll 2 at the same time, so you're just
Okay.
picking the highest from each.
I'm going to roll the 2 metal ones.
Oh, okay, okay.
Only they're the same texture. It's weird holding a die that's plastic and a die that's metal. Okay. Okay. 2 at
Plus-
the same time. Dagger numero uno, the not cool one. is a 20, baby.
That's nice.
Next dagger,
Crit,
cool
crit,
dagger.
Crit, crit, crit.
Cool dagger, here we go.
Oh! That's baller. That's sick as
Did I cheat? Did I just cheat? Put these dice in the oven. That only works for plastic. So I have a 20, a 25, and a 26.
And were they
Nat 20
natural
for
20 on
Natural
both of
20s for
them?
both.
So you're going to double your die roll on both for the
Yeah,
critical
that's
hits.
including sneak attack. That's including
I
sneak
rolled
attack.
4d6.
You're gonna like kill it.
No,
Well,
no. You roll and then you multiply it by 2.
Oh,
It's not
that's
that.
much better.
It is.
I
it
prefer
is.
that.
I do too.
Okay. I'm gonna have a panic
Straight up
attack.
just gonna burn this thing
Hey.
first shot. Like,
Who knew stabbing a hellbeast in the butt could do so much damage?
Yeah, have you guys seen?
Theory
No,
confirmed.
Never mind.
This is how Thanos gets it.
yeah.
Okay, that's garbage.
Spoilers.
I get a 4 on the first attack
Don't
roll.
forget to double.
So it's an 8.
No, double the dice. And then.
That's a
2
1.
plus-
Yeah, it's a 1, so it's a 2 plus
Plus.
3.
So 5.
5, not me. Off by a bit. Now, my 2d6 for sneak attack on that one. This is gonna be. Someone bring up a piece of paper or something. Write this down.
Oh, wait. 5
Currently have 5.
plus.
5 plus
Oh!
10
10. 15.
times 2.
15 times 2 is 30.
30 on the first attack. As dagger number 1.
Dagger number 2.
Is that right?
Get it.
Do the math again.
Hold on. What am I
I just
doubling?
want to know it.
No,
Any,
my-
any
no,
dice roll you.
Any dice roll gets doubled.
The value is doubled at the end.
Okay.
So 30 for 1.
Yes.
So what was the first?
The
like,
first one was a D4, you got a 1, double 2, plus 3, so 5.
plus 3 is because it's a plus 3.
Plus
Yeah,
3.
the dagger.
Yeah, dagger.
The next one, he did a 6 and a 4, so that's a 10.
This is the sneak attack damage.
Yeah,
Is 10, which is
15.
20.
And so 15 for the base dice, so that would have
No,
been
no,
the
no,
main
no,
roll.
no. I think you just turn this to 20 and they'd be 25, not 30.
What?
It's just the die roll. It's not the whole thing total.
Isn't that what you did in the first place?
No, because what we did was we already multiplied that. We're not going to
Oh
multiply
shit,
it again.
oh shit. So what is it, 25?
25.
Close enough.
I'm still happy with
Close
that.
enough.
No, this is still
If
giant.
you do total 50 damage to this thing in one go, oh man, I'm gonna be so proud of you.
Okay, 2 times 2 is 4.
4.
Plus 4 is 8. Now we have an 8. That's, wait. Yes,
no,
times 2,
no,
times 2.
no. 4.
It's your special dagger.
Oh my god.
Yes, special dagger. 4.
We're gonna add the others later, so just do this so that we can
Oh.
just
So this is 4.
4. Now roll the other
I
dice.
can just hear.
No,
people
no, no, no,
upset
no, no.
right
This is
now.
8.
Just, no,
Every
just
dice
like
roll gets
Biting
doubled.
through their tables.
Individually. Every dice roll gets doubled individually.
Right, so 2, 4.
Times 2 is 4. Plus.
But don't add the
I'm getting
plus right
Okay,
now.
okay, I get it, I get it, I get it, I get it.
Also, because when you use the second weapon, you don't get modifiers on it.
Don't.
Anyway, don't worry about that. Just
Okay. So 2 3s is a 6. Times 2
12.
is 12.
So
12
plus 4.
plus 4 is
18. 16.
16.
Bruh.
Plus 4 is 20. So 20 and 25 damage. So 45 damage.
45 damage. Woo!
I really hope he rolled that right.
Spicy.
I'm totally cool if he rolled it wrong.
No, I'm pretty sure that's right.
Pretty sure that's right.
Someone please tell us.
no matter
I mean, I
what,
can go
we're
check
keeping
for
it.
you, but-
Yes. 45
Keep it.
damage.
We're
I just
keeping
like.
Keep it.
You've never stabbed a hell beast in the butt before with 2 daggers, so you might not know that the way they react is the way this one reacts. It lifts its head up into the sky, opens its toothy maw, and lets out a bellow that is a mixture of pain and anger that sends a chill down your back. You may throw up a little in your mouth from fear.
I'm like, ooh, I'm really close to this thing.
Or maybe it's fear that its bowels will release, and you're in a very bad situation for that. Whatever the case may be, you have done an enormous amount of damage with your turn, and that
Wrists.
takes
My
us to
wrists are in each cheek.
Valandril.
It's about time.
That was a lot
So
of math.
each one of the rings is 10 feet, right?
What?
What? Did you
Just say again.
Each
take
one of those. That's
10
10
feet,
feet,
yes.
right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
So if I move up 1, I'd still have 20 feet of movement. If I'm
Or if you move up 1, you'd have 20 feet movement side to side, but you'd have to jump up again.
okay, so I'd have 10 feet of movement if I made it up to the platform. Well, that's what I'm going to do regardless. So I'm
10,
going to
20.
make it up, and I'm going to go around that to the left. Yes.
Okay. 25,
sideways to the left.
25, 30.
Mhm.
Yeah. So now, ideally, I'm still kind of in line of sight of the hell piece now, right?
You can see its head and the top portion of its
And
body.
I still... Is he revealed yet?
To the hell beast?
Yeah.
I think.
No, because it's a very large beast and it can't turn around to see
So I
what's stabbed in
still
the
get my
butt.
stealth advantage.
It can't see Monolith.
Can it see me?
It doesn't. It's preoccupied with who
Why we
it's
had this argument.
it's who it's biting. Well, I hadn't figured out yet, but yeah,
So
it's busy biting.
As Valandril comes up, he sees the very grotesque
No, he gets it because he
stabbing
rolled the stealth roll.
of one hell
Like he
beast's
got it.
nether regions. And kind of throws up a little in his mouth, but at the same time respects his stealth boy.
Mm-hmm. Stealth boys.
Goes
together.
around to the side, kneels, gets an arrow ready.
That didn't even make it over there. It
Weak.
just dribbled.
God.
Just like went down your chin. It's gross. You gotta like. Gotta have some oomph.
Better.
Much better. So, boom, boom, 23.
I'm so glad you guys are rolling so high. This thing is so thick and armored, but you guys are doing like 24, 21, 22.
Yeah.
So yeah, it hits.
All right, so that is my
Like 3
D8
attacks,
plus a
and it's
D6
like-
for stealth.
Okay.
So I'll get the D8 out of the way. So that is going to be a
Real
7
That's
plus
not killing
11 damage.
All right.
Not exactly a, what was it, 45?
Yeah, it was a 45.
But it still
It's
counts.
still
Yes.
there.
That's still good. You might get to.
So the hell beast is getting tired. I wouldn't call him bloodied by any stretch. I wouldn't even say that he's starting to. He's still got a lot of fight left in him.
Wow. Okay, I'm a little more into you just zapping us out of here. But I want to
At this point, Quinn gets to decide what happens next. She's
Alright.
just taken 2 incredible misses and then one very painful hit.
Yeah, that was not nice. But is its mouth still open?
Arr, 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 arr. You shot it. Got
From the
stabbed
side,
in the
probably
butt.
neck.
Rawr. Yes. It's spending a lot of time going rawr, rawr, rawr. Mouth is open.
chuck a grenade.
I was gonna say, can I throw a grenade in its mouth?
That would be. Let's see how you do.
Yes.
Okay. Alright.
Oh,
what
dear
do I
God.
Need to, what's
Hold
the
on, let me look
process
at
here?
that
What
name.
do I need to do?
You've got to think of either some way to light a grenade with fire in 6 seconds, or use your time to communicate that so that it's a group. It's you and somebody helping you with their 6 seconds also.
What?
Jan, can you
Well,
throw a spark at me?
Do you have a torch or anything?
I'm not lit up or anything right now.
Oh.
You ain't token up yet.
Alright, hold on.
But it's a grenade,
So-
not like a bomb.
5, 10, 15.
Yeah, the
No,
thing,
it's like
her challenge is making fire. I'm saying pulling a grenade out is an interaction, which isn't going to take any of your time. You're going to have to come up with a way to light it and deliver it in your time. That's
I
the.
have a flint, like in my pocket.
That actually shows up as an example of something you can't do in 6 seconds, is using can't. But there are other ways.
3 of us.
So if she misses.
Do you have any questions about your surroundings that I might not have filled out completely for you? Or
Can I drink a help?
Yeah. Is there any other light source in here?
there are the torches I mentioned at regular intervals around the room. It's a very well lit
Are
room.
they like on the bottom level though?
They're all along the walls.
If you get hit by it.
There are none in the center of the room where you are.
Okay.
So like
You must
0
make
on those
a-
pillars?
Right, correct.
DC
Damn.
15 dexterity saving
Darn.
throw.
Well, that was a
I get
cool
plus
idea
10
that
on
just
it.
got smothered.
Yeah.
I appreciate the creativity.
No, do it. It's a DC 15 dexterity saving throw to
I
dodge.
think it's the.
I have to get
process
it
that
lit.
makes it-
Yeah.
Like,
Oh.
it's not.
We're not
lit.
worried about the outcome.
Yeah.
We're
I would've
worried
made the
about how to
saving
get to the
No,
outcome.
not to mention that it
I
does
could-
like
I could-
5d6 damage. So
Oh,
like.
yeah. I could toss you a torch.
There's
Maybe.
But then that'd be like a.
by that time I'd
How far?
imagine.
You would have to throw that thing like.
5, 10, 15. 15
And
feet.
also Janet Tammy's
Underhand toss.
probably.
Oh, I
There's-
just hit the mic, my bad.
One thing that I should mention about the way the stairs work, it costs you 10 movement or double movement to go up. It costs nothing to go down. It's a different, it's kind of like Monolith going down. You are able to hop and hop and hop down without having to go slower. It's when you go up that it's a slower process and involves more climbing.
Okay, then I'll take the disengage action and hop down the stairs.
Oh no.
Why?
Then I'm gonna let him go.
What stairs?
Or not the stairs, like the layers. The cake layers.
Yeah, all the way down.
I mean, if I can do that
Yep.
without penalty.
Yeah, there's no penalty.
To
You're
the
probably
side.
going this way
Yeah,
for the
I'll go in
quickest.
there.
My arm.
And I'm gonna grab a torch
5,
off
10,
the wall.
15, 20, 30 is exactly it. The disengage was your action. The movement you just made. So you got nothing left, right?
Okay, well, if that's.
But you are standing right next to
Yeah.
a torch.
Yeah.
And you used your interaction to have
Yeah.
removed the grenade while you were moving.
Yeah.
So you are standing next to a torch like this.
Yes.
All right, that's where we freeze frame for you. And Janet Hammy.
Okay.
No, the disengage keeps you from an attack of opportunity.
What I would like to do.
Okay,
Yeah.
I thought disengaging would
No.
trigger an
No,
attack.
just turn.
She wasted, or it's not a waste. She didn't get attacked because she took her whole action got used up by disengaging without having the attack of opportunity come.
Yes.
I'll trust you guys. Feel like I got gypped by a ghost. But you know.
I'm gonna cast Ice Knife at 2nd level.
Ooh, can you do that?
Yeah, of course I can do that.
You couldn't turn into a spider. I don't know what you can do.
I
Hey, you're a
have
spell
one
slot.
2nd level spell slot left.
Oh.
So you are standing right there.
It's a drop of water. Let me say this. It's a drop of water. Can I say that she just grabbed some sweat off her forehead? and, like,
Absolutely.
And now the ice has a little bit of salt, so it'll burn the wounds.
Absolutely.
That's like, so what she's gonna do is she's going to wipe her forehead, and with that, like, the water's gonna like grow and grow into like bigger shards, and she's just gonna fucking throw it at him as hard and fast as she can. It's gonna like grow in the air and stuff.
So a javelin of jagged ice
Yes.
forms and then flies from Janatami's hands.
It grows and stuff. It's sick. It's dope. That's all. He has to make a dex of 10. A dex save.
He's got a
I'm
little
so
bit of
sorry.
dexterity.
If you miss.
Oh no.
No, because you're gonna get damage probably.
He fails.
Oh.
He fails.
He fails.
He takes 1d.
Do I have to roll dexterity?
No, not.
Isn't there a radius?
Not yet.
Oh, right, when it explodes.
Oh wait. Yeah, I think you do have to take 10d.
The target
I think you
and
do have to
each
make a
creature
dex.
within
Yeah,
5
yeah,
feet
yeah.
of it.
I think you have to make a dex though.
Well, my hands are rested firmly in its bum, so I'd say I'm within 5 feet. What do I have to roll? A dex saving throw of?
10 or higher.
I get that. Like I have walk without a trace. I get a +10 to all dex saving throws, so I pass it.
Okay, then you're probably just gonna take
Yeah.
half damage.
Do I have to roll?
He
At all?
takes 7 damage from the initial piercing.
Okay.
And then
Ooh,
10.
6.
yeah.
No, she would determine the damage if you take any.
Oh no! Well, I have to dodge.
Are
it
you
first.
dexing out of the way?
I got a dex out of the way because I'm within 5 feet of it, at least.
It doesn't say that it would take half damage or anything. So does he just get out of the way?
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, not bad.
7 for the first one, 8 for the second one.
Nice.
Total of 15.
Yeah.
If that's how math works.
It is coincidentally.
And can I use my bonus action and or movement from that position to slam the Hearthstone down on the box?
I think do you still have an action?
Well, I was hoping it wouldn't be an action.
Make it an action.
Hold on, I want to be fair, and I know what I want, but I don't know if what I want is fair. So, let's see. You wiped your brow. You formed a... Nah.
No.
No. I like what you're doing there. You did a good job. you could argue that you should be able to do that, and I would just argue against it and say very close. Basically, we're freeze framing you just the way we freeze framed Quinn, exactly in the position to do exactly what she wants, but not yet having done it. So you've got the Hearthstone. You could slam it right down on there. Quinn's got the grenade. She could thrust it up into the torch.
Yeah. Sorry, I have one more d6 of damage that I can give this boy.
From what?
From
I just misinterpreted one of the things.
Cool.
casting at second level gives you an extra
Yeah,
d6.
since it's second level, it's initially 1d6. Oh my goodness.
Oh, she's getting up. She's done.
Beautiful kitty.
Push your laptop, hurry. Push your laptop, hurry. Oh, you weren't fast enough.
Aww.
Sleepy.
Want to get you another table to put next to this table for your laptop?
An additional 5 damage.
Yo.
So 20 damage. Look at us.
Okay, cool. Sorry to interrupt your freeze framing.
Oh no! I want to make sure he's as bloody as possible, and so another 5 points of damage is good to hear about, and that's because of the shatter at the end, right?
Yeah, like the javelin like pierces through him and stuff, and like then it does the thing where it explodes porcupine style.
Mm-hmm. Oh gosh! I mean, sand spurs are hard enough when you step on them, and having one burst inside you,
Oof.
Not good.
intense.
And it's sweat ice. Like
Right, salty. Oh, and
Ugh.
it's really, and that means it's just watered down pee,
That's
Ew.
which makes it now it's also gross,
Ew, that's unhygienic.
icky, very icky. Okay, now that we've got all this grossness with all these freeze frames everywhere, it's the Hellbeast's turn. The person that he was about to devour is gone, but there is somebody with a couple of daggers up his butt.
They're stuck in there. If he turns around, I'm going with him.
Well, he does turn around, and while the force was there to swing you around, the daggers come sliding out.
Ew.
Do I like? Is it like a? Do I move like an extra 5 feet or something? Or
Maybe we'll say a couple feet. You get
Okay.
moved. You don't leave the square, but you
Okay.
get angled a little bit.
gotcha.
He swings all the way around and looks down at you, and this is very Jurassic Park. It's just
That wasn't me. All right, somebody else.
and it's no fun to do this if you're not spending time thinking about those nasty white gnarly teeth that have all the gore and the bones and the tendons that are stuck in there, and just the fury. It's so mad at you, and its butt hurts.
Yeah.
And it's
It is-
pretty
it's
sure
butthurt.
it's your
Waiting for
fault.
that.
It is butthurt. So,
Butthurt.
Well, my butt was here, and that
Chicacas.
is where it hurt. So if he is standing where my butt hurt, it's his fault.
it is going to do its favorite
hit.
tail horn attack on you.
It's gonna hit.
The tail horn.
Oh, God.
First the tail,
Tail horn.
then horn.
Tail horn.
Tail horn.
Telly horn.
A 1.
Yeah.
Oh!
So
It's not gonna hit.
with his
Break a
tail,
tooth.
after roaring in your face and getting all of the wind and the bits of gore on your face, it swings around with its tail, and it does it so fast that it stumbles onto one of its legs or off of one of its legs and has to right itself.
Oh, that's embarrassing.
During that time, it wastes one of its horn attacks, so it only has a single horn attack. It's the result of the one that it got.
Yeah.
All right, so now it's going to get a chance to, out of its first embarrassed, now frustrated hellbeast feelings, it's going to just absolutely cut loose on you with this horn attack.
If it's above a 14.
9 plus 9 is above a 14.
Correct. You hit me.
I hit you, and with that hit, I'm going to roll. Wow.
Oh no.
What are you gonna roll? I don't have full health.
Plus
After the slap fight.
It's a lot of damage.
He could.
11 points of damage.
Oh my good lord.
Granta.
Oh wow. I'm gonna. Whoa! I'm in the single digits, baby.
Oh boy.
Hey, you have health potions.
I'm gonna drink one of them big ones. I'm gonna be like,
You're gonna waste it right away?
waste it
Just go to sleep. Whatever.
in the middle of him eating me.
Yeah, whatever.
All right, okay. Is this turnover?
Absolute dumb luck on its part. It only got one successful attack off on you,
And I'm glad.
and now it's done.
Okay.
Wow.
Back to the top, Monolith.
First thing I want to do. Does drinking count as an action?
Yes.
It's an action? Okay. So first thing I'm going to do, as not an action, is yell to Quinn.
That you can do with interaction. No time.
How long do I have? Like, how many words
6
do I
seconds.
get?
So like.
You get a short little half sentence, and you don't get to expect an answer of more than a yes or no.
Okay. I'm going to say to her, don't throw that case too close.
Okay, so that's good. You've used your interaction and communicated that with no
Only
problem.
6 words.
Yep.
1 per second.
That's really smart. I wasn't even.
And that doesn't even count. That the words are more of an interaction. You
Yeah.
still have your time.
Okay. So after that, I'm going to chug a potion of greater healing.
Can't believe you're a loser.
So I'm down to 1 of them now. And I get to roll 4d. I'm just going to use like an app or something. Cause
Just use a
44.
million d4, bro.
I only
Don't
have
be
like,
lame. Here.
but I
use
have
3.
an app. I can use math.
Whatever.
Use 3.
Hey Alexa, roll 4d4.
Yeah, that.
44-sided dice and not 4. 2, 3, 1, 4, 4, 3, 3, 2, 1, 3.
What? What is going on?
Apparently, you've got all your health back.
You said roll 4. Maybe it said roll 40?
Oh, she thought it said 40.
44.
40.
40.
Oh no.
Alexa, stop. Alexa,
And honestly, just add them up.
roll 4d4.
I rolled 4 4-sided dice and not 4. 3, 1 and 3 for a total of 11.
11.
11? Ah, plus 4. What
So
technology?
15.
15 health. That is almost exactly how much I lost. I'm still not full.
I
And
really
then,
hope in the audio that Alexa comes up faintly.
That would be so great.
I really
Okay,
hope
hold
that's
on.
the case.
Now look at my features.
What's
and
even
traits.
better is all the people listening will have Alexa doing their own rules for them.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's a shame they all use Google.
Okay.
Our 3 audience members have taste.
Damn.
Okay. Okay, where is it?
Are you putting your points back in?
Yes, I did that. I'm just trying to see if I can... I'm going to use my cunning action as a bonus action.
Okay.
And I'm going to disengage. And run away.
Yeah, you do have that bonus action as a... You bet you do.
And I'm going to go... Well, 30 feet. Literally any direction that isn't this one. So I'm going to go 5, 10, 15... Oh, God. 20,
And then he
25. I
jumps.
just kind of went around.
Beautiful. And so that completes your action?
That completes my turn.
Okay. You are all done, and that takes us to Balindril.
So at this moment, he's going to get another arrow ready and immediately shout to Janet Tammy. Janet Tammy, grab the damn orb.
Okay. As much as I really want to kill this thing, might
much as
not
I
be a
really
good
would love to.
idea.
But at that moment, he's going to loose another
Yeah.
arrow.
Okay.
How many arrows you got left?
This is like, I'm down, dude. Like, Quiver's getting light.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is going to be
Wait,
the
where's my? You
magical
took my
one.
d6.
14.
Sorry.
That's a miss.
It hits.
He's a
that-
pretty
it hits
armored
Can it just like
boy.
go, "Boop-ding"?
We could say that it does.
It hits, but it doesn't do anything.
You know, that actually works well. It's not that your aim is bad. You're just shooting arrows at something that seems to be made of concrete.
I just got really lucky the first couple times.
Everybody
Hit
here,
soft spots.
everybody
Yep.
here has been doing the most amazing
Boy.
hits. They finding every little crack and crevice in this thick-skinned beast.
It's butt.
Right. locating all the
If
soft
possible, Can he
spots.
say one more thing as he sees the arrow just kind of like ricochet off the hard skin?
Oh yeah.
That's an omen, Janet, Tammy. Grab it!
All right, that completes Valandril, and on to Quinn.
I heard Monolith yell at me, and I just stopped, like, my hand kind of half raised to the torch. I'm like, oh, damn it. Like, hey, are we going now? Are we done? And, I mean, I don't have any long range anything except for those grenades, so I'm just gonna hold an action.
Which one?
A dodge.
Okay, good one. Good one to hold. You're holding a dodge,
Yep.
and if anybody comes at you, you are prepared to get out of the way.
Yep.
Janet Tammy.
If everybody would just hold their horses and give me 2 seconds.
We're fighting a hell beast!
Janet Tammy slams the hearthstone down on the case that's right in front of her. The case which holds the orb.
The guy was spanking.
As
We assume.
as the two connect, there's a flash of orange light that emanates from where the connection is made, and from all around you, there's this weird. It's a visual thing, and for those of you that are going through the process of moving, it's also something that you feel in your body. You feel yourself being drawn through the air towards that flash of light. Shoo, 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 shoo. And you are sucked into it. And for a long moment of time, you're in nothing but orange. Orange and silence. You don't see each other.
This is a good color.
You don't see anything
With that color.
except orange.
Yeah.
And then you start to hear a wind in the orange. The wind gets louder, and suddenly you feel it. It's blowing your hair, it's blowing your clothes, and the orange gets brighter and brighter.
Teleported the wrong place. What's this?
And with a bright orange flash, you drop 5 feet from above the ground onto the white snowy ground, covered in cold, covered in moisture, covered in ice. You're suddenly just very cold.
When we popped back into like where the house was, James took off her cold jacket and tied it around her waist. And so now that we're back in the cold area, she's gonna take it off and put it on. The end.
The four of you are sitting around a case that looks very familiar to you. The only difference is this case is a copper color on the outside, and the runes that are etched into it are etched in, revealing a silver metal underneath. The tarnish on the outside seems to be a coppery orange. And the case on the ground is firmly latched, and the special hinges on the back look like they're intact and haven't been opened.
Like drop down a hole or kick.
I raise my hands up and I like take a step back. Like, I'm not doing it. It's not me this time. We're not doing this.
The whole thing is just sitting right there on the ground, and the four of you are sitting around it as if it's a campfire. And you are wondering exactly, he used the name of it.
Roll credits.
Use the, you guys get to sit around this thing now and decide what to do with it, because here you are in the not too adjacent to where you are is the edge of a giant storm. You are not in the storm, you are at the edge of it, and you hear the chaos, you hear the thunder and the lightning. Your experience with weather is snow and ice. The experience with weather next to you is a typhoon of thunder and lightning and snow and ice. It looks like a cold hell.
Nice.
Where the hell's Sebastian?
Okay, last time I touched one of these, Sebastian actually talked to me, so maybe it'd be a good idea to touch it.
Wait, is that why you slap my hand? Whatever.
As soon as you touch it, there is a ripple in the air around you.
And you die. Your head explodes.
Your head explodes. Straight up.
Appearing next to you
Raiders of the Lost Ark.
is a golden dragonborn.
Stop!
Oh no!
What in the
Damn it!
You recognize Arjon pop out of the shimmer next to you,
I'm like, oh,
Wait.
and right behind him is Sebastian. And
Oh, okay.
the
They
two
made
of
up.
them continue to make hand gestures and do what they can to keep the storm from expanding at the rate that it's been expanding, and at the same time give you the attention that you deserve because you brought exactly what they've been waiting for.
So we did our part of the deal. What's up?
Arjon says in a very subdued voice, "Long time, no see." And he reaches down and he picks up the case that you brought, and he
Contacts himself.
pulls a key out of a pocket that he has in his cloak and inserts the key, turns it, and the entire case pops open.
Stop!
And he ends the world.
Yep.
The
That's it, we're
orb
done.
that he pulls, that he reveals, rises up out of the case, much like the one that you'd seen do this before,
That was a bad orb. This is a good one.
and it begins to thrum and hum. And as it does, it slowly begins to grow in size. And something very different happens this time.
It's like sunshine.
It begins to... It's like you begin to see tendrils off of the growing black storm get pulled into the growing orange orb. And as the two of them begin to work together, there's an obvious energy transfer that's going on between the two. The orange one is growing in size, but never makes it past that size that you saw before of minivan. And the other storm, the larger black one that is, well, you know because of what you'd heard beforehand, roughly 250 feet across, does not change. It does not shrink in size. But Arjon and Sebastian are able to set their arms down, take a breath, turn to you guys, and explain in brief detail that the two orbs are balancing each other out and that they're now going to figure out a way to use them to keep the other tempest storm from growing beyond the size that it's grown right now. If at all possible, they can stop it at this size. And it's still going to last for a year, as long as they can find a way to protect the growing orange orb and keep it from doing its job. But this is specifically what was not supposed to happen. The orange orb was not supposed to be brought in contact with this one unless the Tempest had been released. It was never expected that the Tempest be released the way that it was. And the fact that Prosperia was trying to unleash the South Pole and the North Pole orb to destroy the world, it's pretty exciting that you guys managed to stop that from happening.
So we know who the bad guy really is.
We will have plenty of time to try and understand exactly what's happened, and we'll have plenty of time even to figure out what the next year of this giant, larger than any hurricane that's ever been on Earth-sized storm that you unleashed, where it's going to go and what it's going to do. But for right now, you've prevented it from growing to the size of a country and a continent.
Huzzah!
And
Village.
Yeah.
Well, maybe a city.
In the
Maybe
North
it's-
Pole.
Yeah.
And there aren't a lot of secrets that I would want to just give you for free. But had you taken the time, you would have been able to loot what was left of Lady Prosperia's body
Oh, I knew it!
as the Hell Beast crunched through her rib cage and ate her vital organs.
Nice.
Oh, what was on her body?
Oh, probably some
A lot of
really
good
cool
stuff.
shit.
Damn it. Oh well.
I'm
You
so
would have
angry.
No,
had
hey,
to kill a Hell
hey,
Beast.
Yeah.
You can't loot
You
in the
were
middle
in
of
the
that?
single digits, man.
You could have done it. Anything could have happened.
This-
Should have.
Oh, I
This
mean, I
was a
feel
good
like the
story,
storm
though.
probably would have grown bigger than it needed to.
No, we just, as it's getting distracted, one of us grabs everything and
No,
we
no, no.
dip.
This was
Let
a
me
good
just
story.
grab these
regardless.
remains
Really?
right
Yeah.
She
here.
died to a hell beast.
There are a lot of details that will
Did
probably
she-
come out in the future. But go ahead.
Was there like a possibility possibility that she would have survived, did you have to roll for her to die, or was she just gonna die?
She wasn't going to die. There were a couple things that happened.
Oh, okay.
I want to know what those
So
are.
we unleash
The options.
Doomsday, and
Well, Spanky was one of the things. There's a whole side thing that happened when he landed that you weren't privy to.
Oh no. Oh.
But all of these things and more will be talked about in the future. We're going to be back on May 3rd for the very beginning of our next season of
for
Campfire
official
Quest.
season 1.
Official season 1 begins.
Official
Yep.
season 1.
We've
Wait,
had
I thought
up
it was
until
season
now.
two.
We've been in
Well,
test
we've
season.
been in
This
Season-
is season 0?
Season
This is
0.
season 0.
Oh my goodness.
Yep.
S1 starts on May 3rd, and we'll see everybody on May 3rd. And we're really excited to start our very next Campfire Quest with you then. Until then, have a great time, and we'll see you then.
Yeah.
Happy weekend.
Bye.